Okay, now we should be good. Oh
Yes.
my fucking god. Alright, yep, I'm up on
Oh my gosh,
Twitch.
so funny. You have notifications for your streams, and there's like three of them. But now
Unsurprising,
you're
right?
live. Yeah, yeah, you're
Yeah.
good.
But am I live on YouTube is now the question.
Oh yes, yeah, you're good on both.
Thank God. I hate everything. Well, okay. I just want to get rid
Uh,
of this little box. That would be great. What? Why is there a little box there? Why is it getting in the way of everything? Go away.
I told one of my homies
Mm-hmm.
that
Oh, that
we're streaming.
Oh, well, thanks.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
oh, here we go. Maybe that'll help. Chat test. Cool. Good enough. Um.
So
All right. Sick. So, yeah,
your
we're up.
YouTube thing is still visible.
Oh, the channel customization. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. And then there's the Twitch stream. It's just gonna go into infinity. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. All right. So what we can do while we wait for potential people to join is.
Oh my God,
You still here?
Infinity.
Yeah. Sorry. All right. Let's see. Can you still see me on
I can
the
see the
stream?
YouTube. Yeah, I can still see YouTube.
Okay, and you can see me like see my webcam.
Yeah, no, like I can see the Discord, the topics, and the YouTube, your
YouTube.
actual
Okay.
screen.
Cool. Excellent. So we can just. Did you want to look up something? We start reacting to it. Just wait for someone to come in.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Anything you have in mind?
That's a really good question.
Yeah, it might help.
I mean, shit, we can. I don't know if you want to start with your topic, like anti-trans rhetoric or God is good rhetoric.
Well, I mean, like, just look it up like a YouTube video.
Literally anything, dude.
Yeah.
We can look up,
Oh,
or if you want to do one of the jubilees, we can look up that.
oh boy. Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be on one of the. Oh boy. One LGBTQ versus 25 conservatives. Oh, I still really don't like this
Participating in
format.
homosexual acts is inherently not loving.
It's
Oh.
so bad,
Wait.
but it's fun to watch.
So I am actually gonna share my screen with you so you can actually hear it in real time.
Yeah. I hope it won't hear it in the background.
You shouldn't.
Okay.
Webcam? Webcam, you okay? Webcam? Oh, maybe it's just being weird on my end. All right. Well, whatever. All right. You ready to start watching? Let me pull up a
Let's do
couple
it.
of things. Make sure. I might need to like pop out the YouTube chat as well. Because I'm assuming I can do that. You know, am I actually streaming on YouTube right now?
Yeah, I just commented on you on your the stream, the live chat.
I don't see it. Which YouTube account is it? Is it streaming on a different account? What's the image of my profile
It's Mad Space Chrome. That's the one.
on YouTube?
Uh-huh.
What's my PFP? Is it like a little bear or is it like the black and white thing I drew?
Black and white eye.
Yeah, weirdly enough, it's not showing. It's not showing up for me. Okay, something's up here. Something's a
Hmm.
little wonky. Let me check something real quick. Yeah, it's not showing me streaming on my. Oh, wait. Found it. Eh. You got it. Oh, yep, there you are. I see you. Oh, that was weird. No, I should. Can I pop out the YouTube chat? I should be able to, right? Pop out. Boop. And we bring that over here. bop, bop. All right, so we got this. We got this. I got the YouTube chat popped out so I can see what someone might be saying. Let me pull up the Twitch chat again. There we go. All right. All right. I think we're good. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
It violates
not
natural
inherently
law.
damaging. It's even
Skip ahead a little bit.
25 Alliance, a youth-led political movement focusing on school boards in Florida. And today, I'm surrounded by 25 conservatives.
Obviously, you and I are probably in support of the single.
Most
The
likely.
single
The
thing.
first claim is Donald Trump and
I
Elon
can't
Musk
hear
are
it on my
harming more
end.
young Americans than-
Hold
can't-
on.
Are you
Hold
watching?
on. Maybe I. No. Hold on. I got. All right.
in the
Press play.
LGBTQ+ community.
Can you hear it?
Not really. No.
Can you hear it now?
Yep.
There, yeah, it might be a little loud. I'm gonna have to worry about audio balancing.
Can we agree that grooming is bad and should be punished?
You know, I want to start off. I want to start off saying that I still really don't like Jubilee's format here.
Oh,
Like,
it's really horrible.
it's really bad because it's like the only people that are going to be able to really talk are the ones that get to the chair quicker. So if you sit closer to the chair, if you're on the same side of that chair, then you're going to have an advantage over the people behind the one
Exactly.
speaker. Then it's a limited amount of time. These discussions typically don't really go that far anywhere. So
Especially if like some of the people in the crowd that they don't know what the people are talking about, and
Yeah.
then of course they're gonna raise the flag because they're like, "Oh, I can do better,"
yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Oh, let me. turn up
Hold on,
the
you gotta
heat.
turn it up a little bit more. I can barely hear it.
Give me a sec. Let me see how loud it is on the
Yeah.
stream.
Okay, what I would say is that Donald Trump and Elon Musk use their positions of influence over young Americans to change the way hundreds of thousands of young Americans think and behave.
Actually, can't you turn up the stream I'm streaming you?
Yeah, I think it's at max. Hold on. Try it one more time.
At elementary, middle, and high schools, which has been documented,
that good?
studied,
That's a
and
little bit
proven
better.
to increase bullying and harm, and it infringes on parental consent.
I mean, I do have setting my volume stuff pretty up there, so I don't know what's going on.
All right, keep going. You're
Yeah.
good.
I disagree.
Why?
I think that what
Oh,
the
hold on. Let's
Parental
go.
high schools, which has been.
All right, hold on. Yeah, let's go
Can we-
back to his topic, which was the grooming
Community.
thing. I think.
Donald Trump and Elon Musk are grooming more young Americans than the LGBTQ+ community.
Yeah, I still can't hear it. Now I can't hear it at all.
Okay, it has to be on your end.
I don't know what to tell you. I have it on max audio.
And you
For
just
mine.
don't hear the video? Let me.
I mean, it's just like. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, it's a different. Oh my God, it has a different button for it. Yeah, try it again.
You hear it?
Hold on.
Can we agree that grooming is bad and should be punished?
Yeah, it's much better.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, what I would say
All
is
right.
that
So,
Donald
did
Trump
you want to say anything on this claim? Donald Trump and Elon Musk are
Donald Trump and Elon
grooming-
Musk are grooming more young Americans than LGBTQ communities. Yes.
yes,
the
in a
sense
way.
That, yeah, I would say yes in a sense that they're using rhetoric that
Mhm.
really fires up people that have extremist positions, and I feel like that
Those communities.
when you make that normalized, it's so
Yeah.
much easier to accept it and live in an echo chamber where you feel like you're in the right. You don't need to like reflect on your beliefs. You don't need to do any of that. You're just like, oh, the person who's one of the strongest influencers in the world believes this just like me, so therefore I shouldn't question it.
Well, I don't know. Is that that's not really grooming though. Well, really, I would like to understand what this what.
Yeah, I don't
What
know
is
what
this
the
person's
definition of
name?
grooming is in this sense.
Yeah, I would like
I
to.
feel like grooming as in like we're trying to build up a coalition of youth that agrees with right-wing ideology. That's
Mm.
what I thought they meant, but
Oh,
I don't know what that means.
And,
Got it.
it
if
might
it's
be
being
like in a
used
way of like
literally,
influence. Yeah, I mean we'll have to
if
see what he
they're-
says.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I have no idea what the claim
Yeah.
is about.
So I just want a definition of grooming.
Americans than the LGBTQ+ community. Can we agree that grooming is bad and should be punished?
Yeah.
Okay, lit. What I would say
Hold
is
on.
that Donald Trump and Elon Musk use their position to be punished.
I just have to say this. This guy right here is peak Republican youth.
I mean, you
Peak.
could tell by the way he dresses.
By the way he dresses, even just the haircut. I mean, I'm sure all these people have.
shiny.
Yeah, he's very shiny. Well, I'm assuming they put makeup on all these people.
Maybe.
But even then.
No, maybe he put makeup on himself. Not that it's a bad thing, but
Yeah,
you
sure,
want
sure.
it to the camera.
Can we agree that grooming is bad and should be punished?
Yeah.
Okay, lit. What I would say
Okay.
is that Donald Trump and Elon Musk use their positions of influence over young Americans to change the way hundreds of thousands of young Americans think and behave throughout elementary, middle, and high schools, which has been documented, studied, and proven to increase bullying and harm, and it infringes on parental consent.
Okay, so the bullying rate among the Virginia middle school students increased 18%. Over Hillary Clinton, according to.
That's where I live. Let's talk.
Yeah, same. But I wasn't. I was in middle school in like 2001. So.
Yeah, I was in after that as well.
Disagree.
Why?
I think that what they are trying to do is not grooming, but trying to.
Let's define grooming. We should start by doing that.
Hey,
I would
Yeah.
exactly what we want.
say that grooming is someone with a position of influence over another person attempting to change their thought patterns or behavior to exploit them. Would you?
Oh, to exploit them? I mean, yeah. I mean, that could. I think that's kind of a vague definition of grooming, but maybe that is like the more colloquial version of
Because we
it.
usually use that in terms of adults grooming children, so
Yeah.
we usually just have that context.
Yeah.
But if we're broadening it to different topics, then I would agree with it.
Yeah. Then I could say like entertainers do the same thing, right? Or something.
Yeah.
So, well, either way.
Agree? What I would
With
say
the-
is that
with-
Donald Trump and Elon Musk are proven to have been doing that with elementary, middle, and high school children by sending targeted ads to youth demographics, accessing their rhetoric on social media, and what studies have shown, studies of tens of thousands of teachers, reported incidents, school reports, hundreds of disciplinary reports sent to studies have proven that there's increase in bullying in
I think they
places
have a
where
This guy's
plan.
coming in
I
strong.
think they have a plan.
Well, let me
to
finish this really
improve-
quickly.
Oh
I think you have a plan is crazy.
I hate
And even if it was a
I hate that
plan,
so much.
how do you
It's
know
so
it's good or
stupid.
not?
It's exactly. It's like you don't even know what the plan is. They don't know what the plan is. So what does it matter? What's it? They just have faith in. I mean, it's just faith. It's baseless confidence. Anyway,
Yeah.
It's important
The
to
United
note that
States
there
of
have been
America.
thousands of cases
The
of
United
Donald
States
Trump's
of
rhetoric
America.
being linked specifically to bullying incidents that have been done by elementary schoolers, middle schoolers, and high schoolers who all said that they felt vindicated in their actions because Donald Trump, the president, told them that it was okay. And what we're also seeing is that in communities that have a 10-point increase in support for Donald Trump, there's an 8%
she
increase
looks a
in
little
bullying.
like
And the reason that
Cher.
this is unique is this has never happened in politics before.
The same study found that a 10% increase in support for Donald Trump was associated with a 5% increase jump in teasing due to race or ethnicity and an 8% increase in bullying. Unsurprising.
As
Interesting.
not a Republican or Democrat.
Yeah.
It's
I'm gonna let you finish.
specifically Donald Trump and
I'm
Elon
gonna let
Musk
you finish.
working to change the minds of young Americans, and they're doing it for exploitative gain.
Right.
Exploitive.
I think that
Yeah.
we are tired. We're tired of the left or the LGBT community. We're tired of them trying
what?
to influence the children as well.
No one's trying to influence the children,
Mhm.
except
Yes, they
Donald
are.
Trump and Elon Musk.
No. They're trying to.
And
influence
there's the
children.
flag.
So
The LGBTQ plus community is not trying to influence children. They're trying to save children's lives.
I disagree.
Mhm,
That's, you
mhm.
can't
Wait,
disagree
what does
without
he mean
facts.
by that?
Everybody's talking-
What? That
He
the-
said that they're trying to, the LGBT are trying to save the kids. Are they just talking
Yeah.
about, like, affirming what they're feeling?
affirming their feelings.
Okay.
Well, yeah, a lot of it comes down to that. If LGBT youth have social affirmation early on, it like pretty significantly decreases like risk of mental illness such as depression, anxiety, reduces the risk of suicidal ideation, and reduces the risk of attempted suicide. So yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's very important. They're not making kids gay.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa,
Yeah, no, that sounds fucking ridiculous.
yeah.
Normally I would be sarcastic on the stream, but
You can.
I don't know.
You can.
I don't know. I would probably attract bigots.
I mean,
They're like, "Yeah,
that's
bro."
fine. If we get bigots here, that's fine. They can call in if they're not cowards.
That's true. That's true.
But fuck. You know one of the best when someone asks thinks that like being gay is a choice or being trans is a choice. You want to know the best question to ask that person?
Huh.
When did you choose to be straight?
Interesting.
They can't
They'll
answer.
probably just go to like its default.
And then you go like, well, it was default gay for them. Like that's exactly how it
interesting.
worked.
Like, how did you know that default gay isn't a thing? How do you know default straight's a thing? If either are
Yeah.
a choice, how do you know which one's a default?
Exactly. I mean, he would do an
Well-
appeal to normalcy or something. Appeal to
Or biology?
Sure. Well, I mean, you could argue biology. It's brain chemicals, right? But
Yeah.
anyway, we'll continue.
Castration, that's not saving lives. That's not saving lives.
Okay,
That's not saving
I want to break
lives.
that down because it's a scary concept.
Yeah. And
If
no, I need to
people
let
were
it go.
legitimately
Need to let it
castrating
go.
young Americans, I would also be freaking out. I would also have problems. But when we work with the medical professionals, when we talk to the psychologists, when we work with the families, we see that that is not happening. We see that that's not happening. There are 0.01% of young Americans that are receiving non-reversible gender-affirming care, and in 90% of those cases, that was life-saving care. That is life-saving care. Tragedies happen.
No. Let's
Medical
talk about
mistakes
society as a
happen.
whole, okay?
Do more
Society
people
as a
regret their
man
gender-affirming
and
care,
woman,
or do they regret?
okay?
Man and woman. Man and woman society as a whole. It's an appeal to populism. I don't fucking know. I don't
What ad
remember all that.
populum?
I guess he's like, oh, they're not the norm, so then therefore they need to conform to the norm. Is
Yeah.
what a lot of them are going to
Why
say.
is the norm like require like it's
Yeah.
like the why do they ought to go in with the in crowd?
Yeah, I mean,
Just because it's the case that it's popular
for-
doesn't mean that they have to do it.
for people who are transphobic, it almost always boils down to lack of knowledge on the systems in place to help trans youth. It's really they don't understand what transgender means. They don't understand the
Yeah,
process,
that's
the
what
amount
it-
of shit
yeah.
that they have to go through to even potentially get these surgeries, and they don't get the surgery until like they're 18, 17 on very rare occasion, in some exceptions from what I've heard. But anyway,
Knee
We
surgery,
need to
hip
get along.
replacement, LASIK eye surgery.
he's already out.
can't even do that.
I hate it.
See, none of the people in the back even bother.
Yeah.
Okay, so your claim is Donald Trump and Elon Musk are doing more grooming, right?
Yes.
Than LGBT activists. or
100%.
groups.
Do you want to hear more about why?
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, amazing. So Donald Trump's rhetoric has specifically been linked to bullying cases in elementary, middle, and high school. What we see are also that Donald Trump and Elon Musk are working in tandem to access young people through their phone screens. Donald Trump and Elon Musk worked to reduce Twitter protections, and we saw the firing of staff that worked to specifically set children's guidelines. We now see about 1/4 of young people that are online are on Twitter, and they're accessing media because
That's
also the
so
algorithm has
many.
been changed to make sure that Elon Musk content and far-right content are boosted by about 1,000%, and that's been measured by a variety of studies. And so our young Americans,
I would like
while
to
they're
see
on their
those
phones
studies.
without parental supervision,
too.
are absorbing rhetoric that psychologists have measured to be damaging not only to their minds but to their peers' minds. So we've specifically seen hundreds of cases in over 20 states that bullying has increased as a result of Donald Trump and Elon Musk's rhetoric. There was an incident, and it was heartbreaking, where one student was bullied so severely that they attempted suicide because they kept being told Donald Trump says you need to leave. Donald Trump says you are illegal. And it is a heartbreaking, devastating truth because these young minds are not voters. This has nothing to do with the political campaign. It has everything to do with changing the political culture and working to specifically target young people. That's why they're banning books. That's why they're trying to restrict information that our children have access to and trying to give them a broken worldview so that when they continue to idolize Donald Trump and Elon Musk, they won't know the line of when they've gone too far. And that's a huge problem. We should not have the most powerful person in the world who's setting an example for our young people.
Is it like I really like what this guy's saying. Hold hold on. Lime. Hi, the volume of the Jubilee video is too low. Let me increase. Let me know if this is good. But I do want to say that in your opinion, would the guy who speak, I think their name was Xander, would you consider this kind of steamrolling?
What? Just jumping from point to point?
Well, oh yeah, I guess that's more of what steamrolling is. My bad.
Wait, is that what you were talking about?
No,
Sorry, kind of
no.
wasn't.
No. Like he just kind of keeps moving and moving, and I guess he's trying to explain his point, and he can do it way better than I ever can. But honestly, no. It's just the
Like a
system.
Gish Gallop?
I guess a little bit, but it's also just because the Jubilee format's so awful that I have
that's true. Like,
it's like now the people on the other side are not necessarily getting as much time to speak. But
also, I'm like having trouble tracking how fast he's talking.
do you want me? I don't know if I want to.
Well,
slow
no,
it
it's fine.
down.
It's just like this is exactly your point about steamrolling.
Yeah.
Is if you can't track the conversation, it's literally pointless.
Yeah. All right.
Who most of our young people say they
Lime, let me know if
recognize
it's
as
loud
the most
enough.
powerful person in the world, sharing hate
perfect
speech
volume.
that we see manifest in elementary
Oh no,
school
yeah, we had someone in
classrooms.
chat saying it was too low.
90% of teachers surveyed after Donald Trump's first election stated that school climate worsened specifically due to Trump rhetoric and bullying that was directly linked to Donald Trump's name and catchphrases. It's not a coincidence. It's
The Southern Poverty Law Center conducted an online survey in the weeks after Donald Trump's 2016 election victory and claimed 90% of educators believe school climate was negatively impacted.
It's not a parallel. and It's not something that's ever happened.
I mean,
before.
I could see that happening.
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
I believe it. But
For the sake of the argument, I would say that I agree to an extent, right? It
Love that.
obviously it depends on what's grooming, right?
Well, let's define grooming.
Yeah. So
What would you define grooming as?
So typically most political circles, right, they would say grooming is any kind of act that kind of leads to like a sexual act.
That's sexual
with,
grooming.
Yeah,
Grooming
yeah.
also works with terrorist
Yeah,
organizations
seriously.
and
Yes.
cults.
Yeah,
So
okay,
I would
yeah.
say that grooming has a broad definition until
but I
you
would say
specify.
that grooming is not intrinsic or exclusive to the political right. Right? Grooming is
No, it's not. It's something that happens everywhere.
It happens
it's
everywhere.
horrible.
Democrats do
It's
it.
horrible.
Republicans do it. Right?
Some people whose favorite color is yellow do it too.
Yes, but my point is,
I can convince you that no, actually, I'm not a big fan of yellow. So maybe a different color. I will prove to you that purple is in fact the best.
Yes,
I don't.
I'm on board.
Yeah. Well, I'm just an asshole that doesn't like have a favorite color. It's just like whatever I'm in the mood for. And color
Wow,
combinations.
dude, you sound like an asshole.
I know, it's because I am.
is that for the sake of argument, I would say I agree, but I kind of reject the initial premise because, and even this ties into your previous point, because I think what you're actually trying to say is that the agenda that LGBT activists
There is no agenda.
Everyone has an agenda. It doesn't matter.
Well, the LGBTQ activists make it sound like there's a
Yes.
coordinated agenda, when in reality there's a bunch of people who want
if you're
equal
organized
rights.
if you're organized group, you have an agenda.
We're not
right?
organized. I promise we're disorganized.
Okay. Well, for the sake of argument, let's just say every group has some kind of focus and things they're trying to accomplish, right? That's not exclusive to one party.
Sure.
But the reason I think what you're trying to say is that LGBT groups aren't the issue. Gun violence, stuff like that is the
Exactly,
issue.
exactly.
But the reason why I kind of reject that premise is because when it comes to a lot of these medical conversations we have, there is actually no medical consensus. Like where
There is a medical
I think it's
consensus.
There is a
There is a medical
consensus.
consensus.
it's
How
not.
many doctors
if you
are
have,
in the
if
AMA?
you have doctors who disagree, that by definition means there's no medical
That's
consensus.
fucking hilarious.
Also,
There's no way.
It's just outright cognitive
One
dissonance.
person. Oh, it's not a consensus. Oh,
Cognitive
Throw it away.
dissonance. Cognitive dissonance, and yes, this one person denounces everyone else because they just wanted to be contrarian to all the other fucking scientists.
yeah, contrarians exist, and people with
Yeah.
certain, as you said, cognitive dissonances,
Mm-hmm.
where, and some people aren't even well read on the studies, but they still make arguments.
Oh yeah. You know. Fun fact: I learned the term cognitive dissonance before it became popular. Thank you,
True.
associate's degree in communications.
Fuck yeah.
you have when you have instances like have you heard about there was a $10 million NIH funded study led by, I believe her name was Dr. Johanna.
Yes.
And she did a study and found that there were but there weren't as much.
This might be the Swedish study. Give me a sec. Give me
Yeah,
a sec.
okay.
I got the receipts for this shit too. Boop, boop. James Scott. Oh, maybe it's a different one. Well, whatever. Maybe he's actually talking about a different study, but I'm not sure.
Mental health benefits.
I know what you're referencing, and that's been debunked.
Let's see. A study by Dr. Johanna Olsen Kennedy found puberty blockers. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is a different study than the Swedish study. I just made it up just like they always do the Swedish study, which was outright
The
debunked.
fucking Swedes, dude.
The fucking Swedes. Forced sterilization up to 2013 if you were trans.
Oh, that's true.
Well, if you, yeah, I told you about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, granted, a lot of like bottom surgeries make you sterile anyway, but you know, they would do it just in case, which was still really
Yeah.
fucked up.
Just in case is crazy.
Yeah, more or less. Anyway. Yeah, because a lot of there's still a lot of trans people that don't get bottom surgery by choice, I think. Though I'd have to look into that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Until it's
Anyway.
proven, the box is going to pop up here.
Okay, sure, but the thing is, when you have
Predicted.
conversation, we have doctors in various groups who don't. There is no
Which doctors? Which various groups?
such thing as consensus when it comes to science. Like if
There is consensus when it comes to science.
you have,
I need to
people who
stop.
Technically,
I
no
need to
consensus
stop.
that comes to everything.
Yes,
All
but-
it takes
but-
is one person in the
but-
corner of the
but-
world
but-
going like,
but the
I
issue-
don't like French
but the
fries, and
issue-
suddenly
but
French
the
fries
issue
aren't
that
popular.
the issues that conservatives have is the gaslighting. When you say things like "it's not happening," "it's not happening," "it's not happening," because that
Because it's not happening.
is fundamentally not true, and you can't have
The
conversations
way that you're
with
describing,
people.
let me clarify this, because when I say it's not happening at all, I mean the way that you describe it. Because it's important for people listening and watching not to think that the care that you're describing is happening because, and let's break it down, the care that has been described throughout this episode as chemical castration, as these attacks on young Americans, are not happening at all.
Ooh, I actually like the eye contact he's giving to the camera when talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
That's very aware. It's like the people that there's gonna be way more people listening in on this that are not in that room. So I actually do
It's
kind of
true.
like that.
I mean,
Am
I just
saying
looked
that
up some
any young-
studies.
Though it might be
on,
kind of rude to the other person.
What, bringing up studies that do endorse puberty blockers and hormone therapy as valid?
Oh yeah, no, they are.
Yeah, there's tons. There was
It's
one done in 2018, 2017, 2022, 2019.
and it's entirely reversible. Like as soon as you get off them, you do puberty. That's it. Like there's have you ever heard of precocious puberty?
Mm-mm.
So precocious puberty is basically early onset puberty. So maybe the kid's like 8 years old. I don't remember the specific years when it can start, but it's like someone quench. Oh, thank you. I forgot I had all these fucking rewards.
Thank you, Lime.
Thanks, Lime.
That was fun.
Got hair in the way. Hold on. Okay, what the hell was I talking about?
Ah, man, I was distracted by quenching.
I'm so thirsty. Oh no, there's like some other point rewards things up there that I should probably take off. I think one of them's like
Nah,
doing
I
push.
like it.
Well, no, because like one of them's doing push-ups and my back is fucked right now. Like I have degenerative disc disease, so I need to be careful with shit.
Nah, dude, it's your fault for putting it up there. If someone
Sure.
gets the point, that's your fault.
So I'm gonna go down and start doing the push-ups, and you're never gonna see me come back up. I'm just gonna be crying in pain.
We're like, Chrome,
Like,
we
I-
gotta end the stream.
I
Chrome.
can't move. Ah!
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Shit. All I remember
Yeah.
was talking about the affirming care.
Oh, precocious puberty.
Yes.
So basically, early onset puberty, which can actually cause some pretty bad outcomes for children that end up going through early puberty. I forgot the specific things, but I do have like a study on it that I should look more into.
Yes.
Basically, it's bad. It can be very bad, and so they do puberty blockers on those kids to prevent them from having puberty early, and then they just
Interesting.
take it off when they're about of age, and it's like, oh yeah, we're good, all good.
We're chilling.
Yeah. Remember, medications, everything, whether it be puberty blockers, whether it be hormone injections or yeah, hormone therapy, etc. It's all of the benefits are weighed against the risks. A lot of people are going to bring up the risks of the different medications and everything. It's like, yes, the risks are there, but the benefits heavily outweigh the risks in where they're determined to be effective. Well, you know, for example, I'm on medications. They all have side effects, but we've determined that the benefits very much outweigh the risks and the side effects. So
That's the most important part. They just
mhm.
they just see maybe like one or two kids like not react to it well, and then they'll
Yeah.
try.
And it's
They'll
like,
cry
oh,
like little
because of these,
babies.
it's like the percentage is so low. Anyway, we'll continue.
Young American has ever regretted receiving gender affirming care, they have. It's heartbreaking, and I want our medical professionals to continue to learn more and do.
It's only study shows like 1 to 3%, but it's probably closer to 1%, around 1% of regret rate. I think that's for bottom surgery. There's like a 1% regret rate, which is way lower than like any other surgery. Did you know knee surgery has like a 20% regret rate? I cannot say
did
regret
not know
rate.
that.
Why am I
Time to
adding a
make it work,
fucking
right?
W? But yeah, like knee surgery has a 20% regret rate.
That's pretty high.
I'm just gonna need you to every time I'm about to try and say regret rate, you just have to say it for me, because I keep saying regret rate. Oh, and another quench. Thank you, Elusive Abyss. I appreciate it.
That's me.
Oh, go fuck yourself. All right.
better.
Okay,
but to say what they're
no, but the
doing
thing-
is happening is a lie, and I won't excuse a lie.
Because the issue is that when you have other medical groups, I think you referenced the American Psychological Association
And psychiatric.
Yeah. Yes.
And
Even,
pediatric.
even they
APA,
have, even
APA.
they have said that when it comes to gender affirming care, a lot of kids, when they go through adolescence, when they go through puberty, no longer have that same gender dysphoria. And it goes back to.
I feel like I have to pause again. I feel like I have to pause again. You know, no, I should let the speaker.
It's hard to remember everything though. That's why I would always pause, because
Well,
there's so much shit I would want to say.
no, I was just gonna argue against what the opponent was saying. But
It goes
Do you
back,
know why?
But hold on.
do you know why?
Because
care works.
You've been voted out by the majority. Please
appreciate
adjourn
you.
to the chair.
You have a good vibe.
He did seem like a chill guy, more or less.
Love your shirt.
Damn, that guy came in screaming.
So, you're saying that Elon Musk and Trump
Nope, mutton
are grooming
chops.
kids.
I appreciate it.
Okay. So, you have a unique lifestyle, right? You know, gay, LGBTQ. To keep that.
I don't. You have a unique lifestyle, don't you? What the fuck does
Very
that?
unique.
What the? It's like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, you can be straight. You can be the straightest person in the world and still have whatever a unique lifestyle. Yeah, I actually want to go skydiving. I would say that'd be a unique experience.
Very.
Does that
very
make
unique.
Does that make me LGBT?
Yes,
Oh.
that in fact does. That's how people turn gay.
As soon as you throw someone out of the plane, they're like, I guess I like penis now.
Yes.
Shit.
Lifestyle.
How about
We
clouds
need
that make
men
you like
in this
penis?
country to be in the army, right?
I kind of wish Squid
Yeah.
was here
You're
now.
Right. To have
He'd
your
probably be
unique
I'm down with
lifestyle.
all
that.
in on
Yeah,
this.
I support
So
some of the military.
Yeah.
we got to stop pushing it on kids.
Pushing what on kids?
The trans stuff.
Okay.
that quick little sigh. Yeah, that speaks for me too. So stupid.
LGBTQ
If
stuff.
talking about being trans and being queer made someone who is not trans and queer more likely to be trans and queer, that would result in a lot of harm. but it's not happening. What
That
we're
is
seeing,
happening.
it's not
It's
happening.
not
Give me
happening.
evidence.
Well,
Yeah, give me
it's-
evidence. Exactly.
Look at California.
There
Look at California. Great evidence. The state of California. By the way, the state of California has a massive red population, like right-wing population.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, I mean, California also it has the most people in the U.S., so it makes sense. But
Oh yeah, that's true. Is it? Yeah, that's true.
yeah, California's the most populated, and second is New York.
Really?
Let me find out. We're going way off track here, but now I'm curious.
Nah, this is how we get viewers.
It's sure. All right, list territories by population. Okay, then it is. Oh, New York's fourth. Okay. I mean,
Yeah,
New,
I
New
thought
York.
that
New York does have a lot of country. Like north of the city, it really becomes like suburbs, and then there's like other, small cities dotted throughout, like Albany and Buffalo. But yeah, okay, there you go. So Florida has a higher population, 4 million more, and here we are in Virginia. Oh, Jersey has a pretty high population for its size. Wait, North Carolina actually has more people than Virginia? That I didn't expect. Maybe, it might be because both Raleigh and Charlotte are pretty big. I think so. Anyway. Oop.
are more queer and trans people because queer and trans people feel more
Oh, there's Lime. That is not even true. If somehow talking to people about queer stuff would make them queer, that would only be bad if you think there's something bad with being queer. Also true. That is a great point, Lime. It's like, so what if they were gay? So what if they're trans? Like... yeah. Well, I mean, granted, I'm totally for like comprehensive like sex education K through 12. Obviously, it would be discussed in different ways depending on the age. Like obviously, like kindergartners are not going to learn about the birds and the bees, right? But it's just kind of normalizing the terminology, realizing that this is in fact a real thing. This is how people feel, and accepting that. That's the main goal. So it's like we're just, if anything is being pushed, it's just social acceptance for other people that are different than you, which I think that's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
comfortable coming out and less likely that they're going to receive mass amounts of hatred.
There's been a rise in the LGBTQ, the trans.
Because there's more
and that's
information
because
out
the
there.
media
There's
is
more
pushing it.
affirmation
No,
out
no,
there.
no.
Because there's more media
The
representation.
media loves to push it.
It is
onto
evidenced
children.
over the last decade that the more queer people are discussed,
why are we
the
doing
more
drag?
queer people feel
Why are
safe.
we doing drag?
Dude's pivoting. He's pivoting to drag shows. There are straight men who do drag. If it wasn't so much
This is
effort,
true.
if it wasn't so much effort, I would consider doing it. To be honest, I
It
think it'd
looks
be
fun.
Yeah, it does look fun. I went to a drag show once. It was a lot of fun. I got winks from the drag queens. It made me feel good.
It's not even
Queen
true.
story.
Oh, I was responding to Lime earlier.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm just starting to read it.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Actually, a question for anyone who might be watching. If you wouldn't mind testing the Discord link for me, because we have yet to have a caller actually come in to make sure it works. So if anyone could click the Discord link in either the YouTube description or below the video, below the stream on Twitch, I would greatly appreciate it. And I just want to see if it works, see if I see you pop in there, and then see if I can drag you. If you want to say hello, feel free. You know, whatever. We're just chilling. We're a new thing, more or less. Despite me having affiliate on Twitch, but
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like it.
mm-hmm. So we'll see.
are fun. Drag queens
Okay,
are
but
fun.
it's not for children.
Why not for children?
Why
I
are
would say
they
a
not-
drag
yeah,
queen
why-
at a story hour is
why
more
is-
like a birthday party clown than anything.
It's because they sexualize drag queens, and that's a them problem.
Yeah, no, it's
else. They have a fun hair, fun
Mm-hmm.
makeup,
not
fun
for
shoes,
children.
fun outfit.
It's
It's a
Some
strip
drag queens.
tease.
do kids not play dress up?
Well, it's
Like,
not even
what the-
just that. They don't strip.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, like there are adult only drag shows, obviously, but children aren't allowed there, right?
It's funny because, like, oh, dude, there are movies where there's nudity. Well, there are
Yeah.
also movies that where there's unicorns and rainbows. So I don't understand.
There's some videos on certain sites that will have all three of those.
Ban the internet. Ban it all.
Okay.
It's a strip
Okay,
tease.
some drag queens are strip teases. If I ordered a birthday clown,
yeah.
if I ordered
The link doesn't work. Okay, let me. I
I
can.
heard of a
Yeah, I was
birthday
kind of worried
clown
about
that
that.
A stripper.
It might need an updated.
Oh
Link.
no, the link doesn't work. Uh-oh, cheerio.
Banned.
Lime is banned. No, I love limes.
No, you were banned for the accents.
Well, Yeah,
Here.
I love limes.
what
Dude.
I-
If
what-
you don't like limes, I don't know what to tell you.
Sure. What I need to do is actually hold on. I don't know how to easily change it from here, but I might be able to.
Oh, excuse me.
What is this long term? Oh yeah. Let me actually pull up my. Not that. Boop. Oh, whoops. Oh wait, no, we're good. Oh yep. Now it's gonna get very meta. Ba 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 ba. Edit panels. Beep. All right, it's got a new link in there now. And wait, is it just done? No, is that the new one? No, I wasn't paying attention. Maybe I'm just dumb. No, there we go. Enter. Wait, why isn't it? There we go. Submit. I don't know why I wasn't scrolling down. Okay, now it should be good. All right, let me pull a couple things back up. Boop, boop. I did not want to pull up Steam. No, maybe I'll stream some more Tau later. That'll be fun, maybe. I don't know. Okay, back to the video.
ordered a birthday clown, and Pennywise showed up to my birthday party and started eating my.
It's a
Some
strip
drag
tease.
queens. Okay,
It's a strip tease.
okay. Some drag
It's not a
queens are strip teases. If I ordered a birthday clown, if I ordered a birthday clown, and Pennywise showed up to my birthday party and started eating my children alive,
Is different.
And started
I would
eating.
be like, wait, that's the wrong clown.
clown-
That's the wrong
That's
clown.
the wrong
No, no,
clown.
no, no,
I
no,
like that.
Some
That's pretty
drag
great.
queens-
That's
Some
so
drag
good.
queens
Different than
perform
drag
at
queens.
nightclubs.
Well,
Some drag queens
kind of.
read at.
Yeah, he even said he's like clowns are different than drag queens. Well, kind of. They're both costume entertainers. Like they do different thing. Actually, that's not even true. There are definitely drag queens that like do juggling and like have little skill sets and stuff for entertainment. So.
Yeah.
Stores. Some drag queens go do events. Some drag queens go do festivals. There are no reported incidents.
not for
Hold
children.
on, this is important.
It's not
Queer
for
people,
children.
trans people, and drag queens. None of them have any correlation to being more likely to commit a sex crime,
True.
to be a groomer, or
That's
to do
not
anything
true.
pedophilic. It's
That's
data.
not
It's
true.
proven. The American Medical Association, American Psychological Association, the World Health Organization have
LGBTQ
proven that there is no
Listen, this
more
is what's
danger.
going on. Let me tell you what's going on.
What's
The
going
LGBTQ
on?
community has gone too far.
How?
Okay, so I'm an
How?
ex-Democrat. I used to live in San Francisco.
You're an ex-Democrat, so you're.
Actually, same.
Yeah. So I went to Gay Pride and it was fun. You know, there's
Right?
girls there. There's straight
Right.
women. So obviously that's awesome.
Are you trying to pick up women at the?
So yeah, when I went in 2010, Gay Pride was just San Francisco.
Have you ever been to Mardi Gras?
Yeah. So, but here's the thing: Gay Pride.
Did you know
is
Mardi
now-
Gras is labeled as family friendly?
Okay, but Gay.
Oh my God, is it? Is Mardi Gras
didn't-
labeled as friendly? Lime, let
Labeled
me know.
what?
No, this. So okay, obviously this guy was talking about like the gay pride parades and stuff like that, and he's gonna go into it's like, oh, how a fair amount of people there will be sexualized, and that is true to an extent. But Xander is like, did you know Mardi Gras is a family friendly event? I did not know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Mardi
I
Gras
think
is
depending on,
booze and tits for days, from what I understand.
I think that's Bourbon Street.
Yeah, Bourbon Street.
Pride is now everywhere.
So wait,
Mardi
are
Gras
you?
is just in New Orleans.
Have you
What does it matter?
ever been to
Wait, what did he
a
say?
sports party?
He said, "Oh, but Mardi Gras is only in New Orleans. Gay pride is everywhere." It's like, what? Why is that a bad thing?
Yeah,
That's
but
crazy.
It's not called a
weird.
sports party. What's it called? Like when they meet out and they're like in front of the game. Tailgates.
Yeah,
Tailgates.
okay, that's different than gay
Have
pride.
you ever been to a football game?
Gay pride is everyone making out and having sex on the.
Tell me you've never been to gay pride without telling me. This guy claims
Oh,
he went
yeah.
to gay pride. What did he do at gay pride? What was he trying to do at gay pride? I think this guy might have just had intentions.
Damn, those
and
guys
what
look way too sexy.
those guys are way too sexy, and none of the women are
God
straight.
damn,
What am
their
I?
junk looks bad. So funny.
Your junk looks bad. Fucking. Okay.
Street.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
That's
I was
illegal.
there.
That's illegal. That is illegal,
That's
yep.
The vast
No,
majority of pride
okay,
events.
We're
the
talking
vast
about San
majority of
Francisco here.
Pride, okay, San Francisco's extra
Who's-
gay,
yeah.
but the
San Francisco's
Vast
extra
majority of
gay.
pride
Extra sexualized. It's
no,
a European
gay
city.
is not inherently sexual.
San
Europe-
Francisco is a European city.
San Francisco's
that
in the
is
United
extra
States of
sexual-
America. Come
Yeah.
on now.
Yeah, no. So, what does he mean by San Francisco is a European city? Like, all of our cities are European if you want to go there. Like, what do you mean?
What the hell?
does that mean?
European?
It's because I guess everyone
Talk
just wears Speedos instead of bathing suits in San Francisco.
Oh.
Well, in Europe, like topless is more common in things, or being topless is more common. It's I don't know how much more common it is, but I know it is more common in Europe and more socially acceptable to be topless in certain spaces. Like
I don't think I'm curious.
Yeah, so I don't know. Oh, this guy might be. I don't.
It sounds
You
like
know, he's just a prude.
Yeah,
We'll
Come
go
on,
with he's
man.
just
You
a-
can look at these titties every once in a while.
Look, man, you can feel free to be tied up,
Come on, no one's
Sir,
judging here.
sir.
Except
sir,
for your friend, your conservative friends.
I'm gonna steal from Ian. It's like, do you like to be pegged? Do you think pegging will get you into heaven? Do you think you'll be pegged in heaven?
Do you think would you want to be pegged by God? By the Holy Spirit?
Would
You wanna
I?
be pegged by the Holy
Well,
Spirit?
no, he fills you with the Holy Spirit.
He fills you up with his spirit.
the Holy
yeah,
Spirit,
It's
yeah.
true.
Mm-hmm.
And now that
You're now his son and baby daddy.
Mm-hmm.
that
We
has
love
gone
that.
everywhere, all over.
I would say
we have
WeHo
gay
is the gay
pride in
capital. Shout out
conservative
WeHo.
cities now.
No.
Wait, what's it?
Everywhere, all over. It's,
I would say
we have
WeHo
gay
is the gay
pride in
capital.
Yeah.
Shout out
conservative
WeHo.
cities now.
No.
Yes, we do.
I like this guy.
But the pride dangers that you're describing, people having sex in the streets, that's illegal. That's illegal. And if
Okay,
someone's
well-
having sex in the streets at Pride, I think they should go to jail. But what we're seeing
Okay.
is that's not happening in the vast majority of cases. And when it is because these are drunk adults outside, and that happens anytime there's drunk adults outside. And we need to work to prevent
Straight or
that
not.
and make it
Here,
more
here.
safe, more family friendly.
Okay, but
and we should
here-
differentiate
here's
spaces.
the thing.
There should
Here's
be
the thing.
adult spaces at nightclubs and family friendly spaces in parks, and we should all have
Agree,
magical
agree.
I
pride. and
agree.
there
We
sh-
need men for
Agree.
armies. We need men to be men, right?
That's crazy work.
I'll guarantee you, especially with my back right now, any woman that has gone through boot camp or is currently in boot camp or is actually just probably 18 and joining the military could probably just kick my ass or something. Like,
Oh yeah.
it's so stupid. It's so
You
stupid.
agree with that?
I think we need anyone who wants to serve the American military and is qualified to do so
Okay.
to do so.
Mm-hmm,
Do you do realize that
100% agree.
all men cannot be trans and
$5 says this guy's an incel.
They all are, dude.
They all. I don't know if all of them are. This guy comes across as such. It's like it's the mutton chops are obviously giving it away for me.
No one has said
It's
all
the
men are
button
not
shot.
allowed to become
Why do you
trans
have to
if I
push it?
watch a bunch of trans movies
no,
in front
but
of you.
why do you have to push it on children?
There is no medical research, no psychological research, and no data anywhere in the world over any period of history that shows discussing queer and trans identities, putting
To
queer and trans
kids?
identities on TVs, I'm about to say it, change children's minds or
Oh, it
identities.
does.
Okay, let's
I
pause.
feel
He
like
needs to ask him for the sources, dude. He doesn't need to tell him. You just like, all right, prove it.
Oh, you're talking about like the opponent's making the claim. It's like, disprove it.
Yeah, seriously, if you're gonna
Well,
make
I'm-
the claim, you
well,
gotta
it's-
back it up. You
that's
can
the-
say what you want about anecdotes, but
I mean, that's kind of the shitty thing about this format as well, is because these people, I don't think they allow them much in terms of notes, it seems. Or, maybe they do, and they just don't have any notes, and, they're going to be ill prepared for everything.
oh yeah. Well, some people are prepared with sources.
Yeah, so
Those are
exactly.
the people
So it's
who
like,
know what they're talking about. This guy doesn't.
yeah,
He's
this
just
guy,
got spewing rhetoric.
call him Jon Snow, he knows nothing.
I feel like you're a good
You've been
person,
voted
but
out by the
that's just
majority.
wrong. I get a good vibe, but that's wrong.
I can appreciate that. I think that guy would frustrate me, but I feel like I could slowly convert the mutton chops man.
How's it going?
Then
Right.
how are you?
Oh, well,
well.
we got closed captions now, I guess.
So I think the way that the statement is phrased is kind of a
Actually,
straw
that might
man.
not be a bad
I
idea.
don't disagree that for Elon or Trump are necessarily doing I'm not.
So we agree
focused
that
on
Elon Musk and Donald Trump are doing
No,
it.
I would disagree,
No,
but I'm
never mind.
saying that
Why?
I can agree that plane
How aren't
crashes
they?
are I can agree that plane crashes are bad,
Mhm.
but then also want to stop car crashes.
Well, car crashes
What?
and plane crashes aren't originating from the same source.
So what
and
he's
this
saying is
anti-LGBT
that he can call out red pilling the
Yeah.
youth, like Elon Musk.
Oh,
He can,
yeah.
yeah, he can call out both sides. That's his point. That's what he's trying to get to.
Hey, I got my first bot. Cheap viewers on streamboo.com. Remove the space. Thank you, random bot, for giving me some engagement. I don't even know if that helps with the channel whatsoever, but here we are. It's nice to be acknowledged with a bot sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I'm an affiliate, actually. Maybe since I'm an affiliate, they're going to come to me more often. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
can I... Yee.
All right, go for it.
Give me a sec. Yep. Boop.
LGBTQ+ rhetoric is originating from the very people who are actually grooming our children. So I would label
I think
this
you're
as
gonna
a
have to
political
correlate that.
distraction.
First of all, I think you're gonna
Hold
have
on,
to
Actually getting from
Zoned
the
out.
same source, and this anti-LGBTQ+ rhetoric is originating from the very people who are actually grooming our children. So I would label
think
this
you're
as
gonna
a
have to
political
correlate that.
distraction.
First of all, I think you're gonna have to
Do you
correlate
think
that.
that Donald Trump and Elon Musk love queer and trans people?
No, I
Do you think that they use rhetoric that
Well,
is
I think they're very
positive,
liberal, yeah.
supporting queer and trans people?
I think they're very liberal and they
Do you
don't
think
want it for
Elon Musk and
kids.
Donald Trump are
Who's very low? Is he... What?
very liberal rhetoric?
I think you're gonna have to
Do you
correlate
think
that.
that Donald Trump and Elon Musk love queer and trans people?
No, I
Do you think that they use rhetoric that
Well,
is
I think they're very
positive,
liberal, yeah.
supporting queer and trans people?
I think they're very liberal and they
Do you
don't
think
want it
Elon
for
Musk
kids.
and Donald Trump are very liberal?
They have a confused ontological view of this issue. So what I'd like to attack in this specific debate is
Yes.
I'd like you to make a truth claim about transgenderism in general, because it seems
Well,
that you
what is
guys.
transgenderism? Because transgenderism is an hateful word that doesn't exist, and we're gonna have to unpack that.
How is that a hateful word that doesn't exist? Transgenderism
What do
is
you
when
think
men pretend
transgenderism
to be
is?
women.
Okay, that's why it's hateful and doesn't exist.
Okay, so
I was about to say, recently I used the word transgenderism, and someone did they didn't call me out on it. They're like, hey, we don't don't actually use that word because it kind of promotes a religious connotation on it, that it's only a belief and nothing else.
Yep.
But I like Xander's response. He's like, and that's why it's bad.
Because men are not pretending to be women. Trans women are women. And I
Mhm,
understand.
mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
Did you know?
there's a truth claim right there. So trans women are women. So there's a thing that I would like to put forward to you.
This
There's
might be my
4
favorite
things that
Jubilee one so far.
transgenderism could be possibly.
Okay, transgenderism isn't real, so I don't know how to
there's
debate
4
that.
things that trans people could be, or the
Deal.
causation of trans
Deal.
people.
Did
The
you know
first
that they
thing-
have brains more like their gender?
Yeah, I've been through that study. It's obviously fraudulent, but I'd like to
No,
go
it's not. It's
into.
peer
That's
reviewed.
so funny.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
peer-reviewed.
The scientific and medical establishment, the study that he
How
brought
many
up
doctors
earlier,
are in the American Medical Association?
I'm not sure.
You know what's funny? The American Psychological Association, the people who wrote the DSM-5 of mental health conditions, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, actually has some anti-trans doctors that are authors of the DSM-5, and they don't see trans, and they're anti-trans, but they don't see transgender being transgender as a disorder or anything like that. So it's
How many medical professionals are in the American Medical Association?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
270,000.
Yeah,
They're
I
democratically
don't really care about
elected, and they make
credentialism.
decisions.
I
in
don't
the
care about
democra-
credentialism.
You don't care about.
you should probably care a little. You should probably care a little bit about credentials, depending what you're talking about. If you're talking about a scientific study, of course you're going to want credentials.
Also, if like
Jesus
you're voting
Christ.
for somebody who has zero political experience, zero credentials, and running anything, failed businesses,
Yeah.
then
I mean, that just goes
I
into
don't know where
shitting
we're
on
gonna go from here.
That just goes into shitting on the administration.
Mm.
Fuck. Yeah, I just realized that my link on YouTube might not be working either.
Yeah, that might be the case. Do you want me to try it out?
Sure. It shouldn't work though, to be honest. Let's see. Boop. Why can't I make it a never expiring link? Oh, I need to do that too, actually. Boop. There we go.
It worked.
Oh. Well, it might work for you because you're like an admin here. So maybe there's maybe there's a permissions thing that isn't working and no one's telling me about it. Let's see.
I was in the waiting room for a sec.
Yeah, so okay, it's a private channel. They can't do a lot of shit in there. They can send messages. They cannot attach files. App permissions, view application remains, use activities, use external apps. Let's see. No, it says roles, members, everyone. So I think it should work, right?
Yeah. I mean, I did it through the YouTube one, so.
Okay. Just fucking do it that way, and I'm gonna allow no. I'm gonna mute them. Do. Boop. Oh no, I don't want to do that. They can't mute people. I just want to say they can't speak. Beep. Okay.
Thou shalt not speak.
Yeah. It's like I would like to build a, oh god, I have the infinite thing going on. I would like to build like a community in the Discord, but if it's going to be the people calling in, I don't want them to get like too distracted for their own thing. Would you want to go over King Critical's second last video about debunking trans ideology next? Is it like Moist Critical? Is that who you're talking about? Or is it someone else named King Critical? Is it Charlie or not? Or are they both Charlies? And yeah, no, might potentially check it out, Lime. Obviously, the video we're watching right now is going to be... It's pretty long, especially since I keep interrupting it. But, you know.
About people being educated.
I'd like to make.
Problem.
I'm trying to attack this point ontologically. I'm trying to get you
either way
to make a truth claim about trans people.
What's up?
I said either way. Whatever everyone's up for.
Yeah, true.
Let's do it.
The first thing that trans people could make a claim about themselves. There's 4 things. The first thing, and I'm gonna go through them really quick, and then you could respond to them.
That their gender doesn't match their birth sex. Period.
So the first thing,
yes,
could be a sexual perversion. So that.
I hate it here.
Bad.
That has always existed. Men dressing up.
Oh, King Critical is a smaller YouTuber debunking trans ideology. I mean,
I don't understand what that even means, bro.
They're just probably transphobic, is what I'm guessing.
Yeah, but like debunking.
Oh wait,
it just doesn't make any
debunking
sense.
trans ideology. Wait, are they pro-trans or anti-trans? Well, I mean, we'll have to check it out.
Up like women for a sexual fetish has always
That's
existed.
not a sexual perversion.
That is a perversion.
Is Rudy Giuliani a pervert?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Oh, that's so good. It's really, we can all agree Giuliani is a fucking menace.
Yeah.
Agreed. Agreed. That's
Okay,
weird vibe.
So let me just finish.
What
So
about Brett Kavanaugh?
I don't think those claims were substantiated. But yeah,
What
I mean,
about our vice president?
No, he didn't have sex with a couch. That was obviously fraudulent. Some
No.
guy just
What
came
about
up
the
with
fact that he dressed
on
up as a woman?
That was a Halloween party. So look,
So
we're
They're
you're
gonna
anti-trans,
dressing
different
up as
arguments
women
than
is not
most
always
anti-trans
looked
people. I'd be
pedophilia.
interested in checking
And what
it
we
out.
actually study
Bro,
is
I'm
that
trying to-
transgenderism.
Yeah, so so like in terms of me talking about the the trans community. That's a very new thing. Before I was doing so I am still pro-choice, but that's mostly what I was debating on before. But it always just boils down to why do you give human life value? Basically, that's what it always boiled down to. And it's like, I could just speed run that now. It's like, why do you think they're valuable? Oh, you believe in God, for example. It's like they're valuable. They have intrinsic value because of divine providence. And at that point, you're just like, well, now we're going to meta ethics, going into God. There are not many secular pro-life people.
Is not linked
Dude,
to
I'm
any sort of any sexual misconduct
Dude,
or
I
violence.
understand you're passionate about the issue. I just like to get through these 4 things because other people like to
Squid
talk.
say
So,
something?
the first thing, I think you could
Oh,
admit
might have Squid
that
coming on
some
later.
people dress up like Leah Thomas, for example. He was on the Penn State swim team.
Wait,
We
what?
found-
Fucking okay.
I definitely misspoke there. A little bit.
A little
It's
bit,
okay.
just a little bit. I mean, I'm not gonna like hit someone on a Freudian slip, right? But like, come on.
Nah, dude.
Like
He's banned.
yeah,
the
just-
channel.
Just could have kept going, right? Rhea Thomas, right? Is that the Rhea Thomas? Give me a sec. That doesn't help me. Actually, let me go back. I want to make sure.
First thing, I think you could admit that some people dress up like Leah Thomas, for example. She was
Leah Thomas.
He was on the Penn State swim team.
Oh, okay. That's okay. Leah Thomas. I was like Rhea Thomas. Yeah. So, all right.
We found his secret Instagram account, and he was posting. No,
This
him.
is so. Can we just
Him.
at least
It's a
then
guy.
pretend for the conversation? So I
I'm
don't
not
have
gonna
to check
do that.
you every
I
second.
won't.
I'm gonna have to check you because that's hateful and that's wrong and it's inaccurate.
It's not.
Yeah. So like I definitely agree with Xander here. It's like just for like, what's the harm? What's the fucking harm in just calling them by their preferred pronouns? Like it's such a dumb like ego thing to just not do it. It's like, oh, I'm not gonna follow it. It's like, stop being a fucking snowflake. Just deal with it. It's not a big deal, right?
Also, if you wanted to be called by, let's say, if your name was Jeff, and I just call you, or like you used to be called Jeff, you go by like a pseudonym, like I don't know, I don't know, Billy Boy. It would be kind of like insulting just to be like, I get what you're saying, that you want to be called this,
But no.
but I don't
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah. So you're
Just because
it's like you're just being a
causes
bitch for
me
no
to
reason.
think a little bit more.
You're just being shitty for no reason.
It's out of laziness.
For
in my
no good
opinion.
reason. I should say for no good reason.
Yeah, it's genuinely it's laziness of trying to think outside the box.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it in my opinion. Like it's just laziness and unwilling to be a good human. I don't know. Isn't that crazy?
I really need maybe I will have to invest in a light. If anyone wants to donate, please donate. I'll invest in better equipment. But but maybe I should get like a little light, like forward-facing light, to be able to see my eyes and them doing their fluttering out of frustration. Like
Yes, that's what we need. You just see those eyeballs.
yeah.
The stream isn't right without the balls. I mean the eyeballs.
I don't want to get banned.
Nah.
All right.
No, it's not
Thomas
inaccurate.
lost.
He has a penis.
Leah Thomas lost to cisgender athletes the same year that she won. There's no inherent.
Leah Thomas came in 5th place, which, don't get me
Yep,
wrong,
5th
very
place,
tied for 5th place, which, don't get me wrong, awesome, great job, but anyway.
don't care about
biological
that.
advantage for
It's
trans
so
athletes
stupid.
competing in their sports.
Obviously, there is men are stronger than women. I don't
There
care
isn't.
about
They
that.
have
it
to
would
go
still
through
be
care
wrong.
and standards.
Dude,
The
hold on.
NCAA sets
Just I
specific
understand.
biological
Okay.
standards of care
I
so that you can't just be like, okay, I want to switch.
That is true, though there is still discussion on what those policies should be. Currently there's not, for obvious reasons, there's not a lot of info on trans athletes right now, just because there aren't that many trans athletes, at least on a professional level, right?
Yeah.
Whether that be in college or full-on professional whatever. And then obviously the qualifiers for that are going to be different between different sports. So like, if it's going to be like, for example, arm wrestling, you know, there's definitely going to be there's going to be more consideration there instead of say like fencing, which is way more like speed and skill and speed, than like raw power. So there would have to be different policies in place, and which we have sports medicine professionals. I think they can determine that well enough, I'm sure, and they already do.
Dog.
Yeah.
There's a woman in my curling game, bro. I'm gonna flip a shit, bro.
She's a woman now. She should be able to sweep better. Fucking.
Oh my god, that's bonkers.
It's stupid.
Yeah, I understand.
Dog, if there's a woman on my bowling team, bro.
True.
Actually, I like to bowl. Bowling's fun.
I did bowling through middle school and into college. Middle school, high school, and college. I did bowling.
Yeah, I want to try to go it again. It was fun.
I would love to if my back didn't have issues.
You and your damn back. What are we gonna do with you?
It's kind of a problem. It's one reason I had to leave coffee.
How dare you?
I literally couldn't bend over and do the shit
anymore.
anymore.
Information.
Men pretending to be women,
Trans women, ugh.
are not women.
Yes, I'm also.
And the first
I am
claim
also
that I'm
disgusted.
making is that,
Trans women are women.
okay, you can keep saying it. It's not true.
I feel like I have to.
So I
That's
understand.
a
I
lot.
understand. The argument is, are
Which is
trans women
heartbreaking.
women? And
It's
I'm saying no.
heartbreaking. It
So
is
if I call her a woman, I'm forfeiting my entire point.
Well,
so
your
you
point
understand?
isn't
I'm not
valid.
going to say that.
Your point is
I don't
valid.
understand
Exactly. What's the?
Yeah, I'm going to prove why it's valid.
There's
so
no
men
point for you to
who
make,
pretend to be women,
sir.
either it's a sexual fetish, which I think that you can
It's
agree
not a sexual
at least.
fetish,
It's
medical
not.
fetish.
I think that you can.
Yeah, he brought that up earlier, which is bizarre.
I didn't even hear that one. Like,
Yeah, no, it's bizarre. It's so fucking dumb. It's
there's
so
no evidence
stupid.
that it's a sexual fetish.
Yeah, like sure, there could be like cross dressing could be a sexual, like trans in and of itself typically isn't a fetish.
Yeah, like
right.
If someone has trans dysphoria, it has nothing to do with sexual.
Yeah. Now there are people that seem to have more attraction to trans individuals, but those people themselves aren't necessarily trans, so therefore. It's like the trans people are the ones being sexualized by non-trans people.
Exactly, yeah.
So that's not a trans problem. That's a fucking you issue. If you think you like femboys a little too much, well, not that femboys are trans, but you get the idea.
Agree that sometimes it can happen. Transvestitism.
I think some men dress up as women.
Oh,
I think
no.
transgender women are women.
Okay.
This guy is very archaic in his rhetoric.
So what I'm claiming, the first thing.
Yeah.
That's that. The second thing is a body dysmorphic disorder, right? That's a body, and as laid out
Gender
in the
dysphoria,
DSM-4,
Yeah.
and still.
There's gender dysphoria and body dysmorphia, two different things.
Yes.
But obviously can coincide very frequently.
DSM-5, when they changed it, there's still a
I'm surprised he knows what the
65
DSM-5
to
is.
75% overlay between people who identify as transgender and them having gender dysphoria. So
okay, and
my question for you is,
again,
if it's a body dysmorphic disorder, if it does exist as a body dysmorphic disorder,
I forgot.
Why wouldn't you treat other body?
Is gender dysphoria even considered a disorder? I forgot. I should know this offhand. So. Yeah, I was about to say I'm pretty sure it's not. I know I have the pro trans arguments. It's just left my brain. Okay, gender dysphoria is considered a mental health disorder. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But being trans is not being gender dysphoric. Most trans people have gender dysphoria, but not all of them do. And obviously plenty of cis people have gender dysphoria and stuff. A woman who shaves her legs, this is not an example of gender dysphoria, but she's gonna shave her legs because she wants to feel more feminine, right? And that would be a form of gender affirming care in and of itself.
Exactly. We help people with disorders.
You wear makeup to be more feminine.
Gender affirming care is to help with the disorder.
Exactly. The best treatment is accepting them That's the first stage of
I know that's
treatment.
crazy work,
is
dude.
acceptance.
How dare we be accepting?
Yeah, imagine making the world a better place by
Ugh.
accepting them and making their world a better
Damn.
place just because you have your own bullshit thoughts.
Dysmorphia
Yeah,
disorders
dog.
the
Just
same
because
way.
you're in the
Are you trying that with
DSM
conversion
doesn't mean
therapy?
you
Are
get
you-
special rights.
Mm-hmm.
Killed thousands of people and it was
I'm not
derailed
talking
by every
about
single
that.
medical
So when I'm
institution in the world.
talking about-
That
what-
is the attempt to change
Give
someone.
why not give a tummy tuck to an anorexic person?
Tummy tuck.
Why not give it to an anorexic person? Because they don't need it. So what this guy's probably going to end up going into is like, oh, they don't need the surgery, like bottom surgery or something. The problem is
You don't need a lot of things, but we still
Sure.
take them.
well.
You
So
don't
the
need
thing
a
is,
cell phone.
well, no. The thing is, I need a cell phone. But the thing
Yeah.
is, it's like you can argue that they don't need it, but that's simply not true because there's the the suicidal ideation, suicidal attempts, right? If you don't see that as needing it, because a lot of times they need that for that to go away, right? For the gender dysphoria to be weaker, and like I would say they kind of need it. Like I have multiple mental issues, and it's like I'm taking medication because I need it. It's not surgery,
Otherwise
but you
I'm
get
not
the
gonna
idea.
Function.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like it's not up to you to determine how much someone needs it. It is not your place. That is the place of medical professionals and the person with the condition.
Exactly. I feel like it's not even that hard to even talk about.
I mean,
and
that's
understand.
I mean, that's also like why I'm kind of like pro-choice. It's like it doesn't deal with you. Just shut the fuck up and go about your day and let people make their own decisions. But
Yeah, I know.
obviously that's a different sort of discussion.
But my
with them.
right
But my right.
to be an asshole.
Yeah.
You're
Why not
making
give a
physical
tummy tuck
changes.
to an anorexic
Yeah,
person?
you're making physical changes.
People make physical changes all day
You're
long.
ma-
There's a higher
Yeah, why not
regret
do it?
rate
Why
for
wouldn't you do
care
it?
for breast augmentation,
Why
LASIK
wouldn't
eye
you do it?
surgery, knee
Mhm.
replacement surgery,
Mhm.
hip
Okay.
replacement
Mhm.
surgery,
Why-
than gender affirming care because it's
Well, did you
life-saving
see that?
essential care.
First of all, if you have a body dysmorphic
Preach.
disorder, which is defined in the DSM-4 and the
I feel like I just
DSM-5
gotta fact check you
as
every
a body
30 seconds.
dysmorphic disorder, which is literally the same thing as somebody who has like anorexia, they're confused.
That's not.
It's not the same thing as
You're
anorexia.
confused. It's crazy.
It's not. Yeah. Oh yeah. People that have anorexia are just confused. Not to mention all of the potential underlying factors that will correlate to having the anorexia in the first place. Like
ADHDers. Oh, you don't have focus problems. You're just confused, dude. Just get better.
true. Don't feel sad. Obviously.
Yeah, dude.
About
Just
the
like
depression,
focus, man. Just easy.
You're bipolar. Just take a deep breath.
Genderism are not the
Yeah,
same.
I know,
exactly.
You don't agree with that, but
Bipolar.
I'm
It's
making
a
the
fact.
point. So
Bipolar.
just relax, and then I'll make the point. I understand you're passionate about the issue. You live a kind of
Information.
weird.
Don't be bipolar. Be polar.
Yeah.
weird
That's
perverse
so
lifestyle.
good.
I understand that.
That's so
I
good.
live a weird lifestyle,
I'm
not a
trying
perverse
to-
one.
okay,
And not because
well-
I'm LGBT+,
Well,
because I'm awesome.
what perversity is?
I love Xander. Xander's great. Did you hear what he said?
What did he say? One more time?
Here.
Used
That's not the
about
same
their
thing.
self-perception.
Transgenderism are not the same.
I
as
know
people who have
you don't agree
anorexia.
with that, but I'm making
It's a
the
fact.
point. So
It's
just
a fact.
just relax, and then I'll make the point. I understand you're passionate about the issue. You live a kind of
Information.
weird, perverse lifestyle. I
I
understand that
don't
it's
live.
close
I
to-
live a weird lifestyle,
I'm
not a
trying
perverse
to-
one,
okay,
and not because
well-
I'm LGBT+,
Well,
because I'm
what
awesome.
perversity is when
Love
you
it.
deviate from the norm.
Because
right?
I'm
and so if
awesome.
you deviate from the norm, it's perverse. You've perverted the end.
I want to know this guy's.
Perverted then.
Well, so like, because he was saying perverse before, and now he's saying it in like a different context, right? Like the way he said
Oh, that's
perverse.
literally the word.
Or was that the other? Was that the other guy that said it was?
I don't remember.
Oh no, it's the same guy. This guy talked about sexual perversion, and then he also just now talked about perversion as in not of the norm, which who gives a shit?
So that's not the point.
Like,
but the actual point is that in reality, a man who pretends to be a woman is not a woman, and it's the same thing. If I were to go to the doctor's office,
This kid also has such a punchable face.
Oh,
His-
yeah, it's
his
that haircut's
grandparents-
horrendous.
The haircut's horrendous. Look at that facial hair. Like
It's okay though.
This is-
you know.
this is incestuous chic.
as
I'd
an
rather have
anorexic
him
and say,
face
"Doc,
have him have
give-
that face than his ideology though.
Yeah, I'd be more forgiving to
Come on,
his
just get
face.
good. Maybe you'll look more handsome if you're not a bigot.
True. Learn from gay people. Be pretty.
Come on, dog.
S- hold-
Just choose to be gay, dude.
Hold on.
Then you'll
Give
look
me
better.
a tummy tuck. Same thing if I were to go to the doctor's
Shut the
office
fuck up.
as an anorexic.
She looks a little not in this shot, but she kind of reminds me of Cher a little bit. Anyway. Also,
Yeah, I can see that.
yeah, hold on. Let me pull up Cher.
I do see that.
Okay, well, Cher now has blonde hair apparently, but
Oh, really?
yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Cher.
But good for her.
Only a little bit.
Hey,
It probably
it's
just
her.
depends on the
It's
picture.
her. Oh, sure.
It's like it's just her. Oh wait, here we go. Bop. And bop. Bop.
She could buy and sell all
Bop.
of us.
Bop. 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 It's fairly similar. It's the makeup style, I think.
I can say,
And the long
"Doc,
black hair.
Give me a tummy
long
tuck
dark hair.
because my self-perception is not in line with reality.
But that's
so go
not
ahead,
life-saving
give me a
care.
tummy tuck. Yeah, neither is
It's medically
transgenderism.
proven
Ooh, I really fucking hate this guy.
Oh yeah, he's awful. And he's so confident. That's what pisses me off.
Someone kick his chair.
to be.
No, it's not. There was a new Oxford study that just came out
I
in
know.
They like it.
2025 that proved anxiety, depression, suicidality, and
The
suicide.
An Oxford study that reviewed records of more than 107,000 patients found that those who underwent gender-affirming surgery were at significantly higher risk for depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation, and substance use disorders than those without. The study found that the surgery was beneficial in affirming gender identity. Because guess what? After you have surgery, a lot of people tend to have higher anxiety, have higher depression because they had surgery. It's not a trans-specific thing.
All
Study.
skyrocketed.
The same
all
study.
skyrocketed.
The same
the reality of the situation.
It proves
the reality
that
of the
gender-affirming
situation.
care and affirming environments reduce.
The authors of the Oxford study said the results underscore the need for gender-sensitive mental health supports following surgery. Yes. Yes. People need to have aftercare, as I guess I could call it. It's like if anyone has surgery, you want to make sure they're okay afterwards, right? That includes not only physical care but also the mental health of the patient, because they could have just underwent a pretty in-depth surgery. Like, you want to make sure of those at all times, and that's what doctors, most doctors are like taught on, is to not only look at the physical but try and take care of the mental health of the patients and everything.
That's just as important.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're having a heart attack, maybe the mental health is not going to be at the forefront, but yeah.
The rates of
It
suicide,
skyrocketed.
depression, and anxiety.
It skyrocketed in every
reduces
case.
this.
Misquoting
it.
Yes.
That's time.
Yeah, that kid's just
Good
misquoting.
to talk to you.
I like it was like, good to talk to you, and Xander's is like, I ain't saying shit. No good vibes, no nothing, and nor does he deserve any of it.
Surrounded is now a podcast.
Surrounded is
Available
now a
wherever
podcast.
Search Surrounded.
It's a podcast.
It is a podcast. Search
now a
Surrounded. We're gonna skip ahead.
Surrounded.
Actually, since Lime, I don't know if Lime is still here. If you're still here, Lime, thank you for staying and watching. I hope we're providing at least a decent amount of entertainment. We actually are going to be getting a third person in here, another one of our recently made friends named Squid, and he talks on like multiple things really. Right now, when he does get here, I'm probably going to change one of the topics to like return Borrego Garcia, because he's a law student and so he knows law shit, which is very useful. What? Yeah. Who knew being a law student was helpful in interpreting law?
I didn't. I just watched Better Call Saul, and that's it.
Better Call Saul. All right.
Healthcare
That's
costs.
such a fucking good show, though.
I would like to continue this at some point for sure, but I would also watching this video on my stream is probably gonna get my stream copy stricken, but whatever, I don't care. But I would like to pick up King Critical.
Well, if we're talking about it, it can't be copyrighted.
I don't know. I was talking with Squid yesterday and like had a video from the Colbert Show, which could very well be a different thing, or mean a different thing. In this, is this actually his fucking? Okay. All right. Okay. I hate
Oh,
this.
is this
I hate
is
this
gonna be
PFP.
an interesting one?
Comprehensively debunking trans identity ideology in 42
This
minutes.
video
Let's...
is intended to explain
check it out.
why trans identity is an incorrect claim about
Oh, thank God, he's a fairly small YouTuber.
reality, comprehensively and
Let's hope that
reasonably
doesn't
concisely.
change.
It's me explaining why I don't believe that biological males can be women, nor that biological females can be men.
Oh, wait,
I don't
hold on, what?
believe the comprehensively and why trans identity is an incorrect claim about reality, comprehensively and reasonably concisely. It's me explaining why I don't believe that biological males can be women, nor that biological females can be men.
I wonder if he knows there's a difference between sex and gender.
To begin, here's a story.
They never
We call
do.
it The Tale of Two Dannys.
The Tale
On
of
left
Two
we have Danny
Dannys?
Welbeck, and on the right we have Danny DeVito. I'd like to present some facts about these two gentlemen. Danny Welbeck is a professional football player.
Okay.
He's 32 years old.
Mhm.
He's
Oh, I
black,
love Danny
he's
Welbeck.
English, and he's 6'1".
I know
Love Danny
nothing.
DeVito.
Yeah, I do. I definitely know more about Danny DeVito than Danny Welbeck. I do not soccer.
He used to play for my favorite soccer team.
So then you could be the soccer head. You can. Who's your favorite soccer team?
Man United, but we won't talk about it because they suck right now.
Oh, okay. I was about to say we could put that up on the topic. Why Manchester United is awful now.
Why are they playing so bad right now?
It's like we all agree.
These
Yes,
facts might seem
unfortunately.
interesting, but what is interesting is all of these facts are also true about Danny DeVito. He's also a professional football player. He's also 32 years old. He's also black. He's also English.
Okay, well, outright
Wait, what the
ga-
fuck?
Yeah, outright the. So I think his argument, which is dumb as fuck, by the way, right off the bat, is so stupid. Basically, he's saying that Danny DeVito is probably claiming that he's a professional football player. He's 32 years old, black, and speaks English, and is how
He's
tall?
also 6'1".
6'1". We know that to obviously not be true, but that is not equivalent to actual.
That's a category error to the max, my guy.
Yeah, like this is really see this is why I have you here, is because you know the words for that dumb shit.
Yeah, it's this one isn't even like. Oh my god.
Like I would
It's
love
bad.
I would love the physique of Danny Welbeck. Like, are you kidding me?
Oh yeah, he's pretty lean. He's a lean, mean fighting machine.
Yeah,
and
I
he's
mean,
still scoring goals at his age.
oh yeah, 32. That is actually pretty old.
I
And
mean, yeah,
and
for a soccer player, it's like
yeah.
a little bit over your peak.
Yeah, I mean, so that's
Well,
pretty
depending on who
crazy.
you are, like Ronaldo, holy shit, man.
How old is Ronaldo now?
Dog, he's like 37, 38?
God damn. You know,
Hold
if you have the gift.
Dog, his physique's insane, dude.
Exactly.
Ronaldo. Homie is born in 1985. He is 40 years.
He's 40 years old.
He
40.
started playing back in
That's wild.
1992.
I was 2 years old then. Jesus Christ.
Holy shit, man.
Oh my God, Ronaldo.
So that's like when he started his youth career, but still, dude.
Still, yeah. That's crazy.
It's like his whole entire life, dude.
Like,
That's
how-
over average.
And like, how has he not how has his body not just broken down on him at this point? That's crazy.
Dude, he is so lean right now. Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, I mean that.
I like
I
his
imagine.
body.
I imagine that's like the most important trait to have as a soccer player is lean. Lean
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
super
You just need
fit.
yeah.
Whereas in like football, there's different, or American football, there's like different positions that do different things. Like, you know, a blocker is going to be a hulking big ass guy, whereas whereas a wide receiver is going to be your quickest one. So
Yeah, gonna be
So,
that,
which is
that
kind of
one's gonna
interesting.
be your lean. Like Danny Welbeck
Yeah.
would be good.
yeah,
Ronaldo would be insane with that. Anyway, let's get back to
yeah.
it.
Now, obviously, these two Dannys thus have a lot in common, but they don't seem that similar. So we might ask the question, what's the difference? Well, the difference is quite simple.
Nope.
See, the expression of these facts is an identity. You can identify as a professional football player. You can identify as 32 years old, and of course, you can identify.
No one ever claimed to identify as a wholly different human being. Like this
No,
is
you can't just identify as a
crazy.
professional football player.
This is
by definition. You have to
crazy.
be.
Yeah, and you actually have to be licensed. So no, like
What
honestly,
does age have to do with it?
maybe it's H
makes
play.
no
I don't
sense.
know. But I mean, this guy's obviously just trying to prove a point poorly.
But yeah, he's a troll. He's a
It's
fucking
basically
hoe.
it's like we're a minute in and this guy's already scuffed. So Lime, I hope you're still here and gonna be watching us react to at least a good chunk of this video, because that'll be fun. And I'm still worried that like people can't get into the waiting room as well. Like, I want to double check that again before we continue on. It's like I have permissions.
Like I've been able to use the link to do just like hop in.
Yeah, it's like advanced permissions. Everyone. It says everyone can view the channel. Okay. Allows members to view this channel by default. Disabling this and the connect permission for everyone will make the channel private. Okay, yeah, so they're fine. They can. Actually, no, I don't.
Here, I'm gonna ask
Connect?
my friend and see if he can join for a second.
And hear other. Oh no, they can't speak. Okay, yeah, that would be great actually. So I want to make sure. I want to make sure the main point of the stream is working. I think that's probably pretty important. And I've been asking like some Discord servers if they'd be willing to let me like post the streams and stuff. So we'll see how that goes. As well.
Well.
Yep.
See. Oh
like,
shit!
Get your ass in here, boy. Yeah, I wish like looking at the stream chat would give me like the amount of people that are actually watching. That'd be nice.
Oh, yeah. It looks. Hold on. The full Discord line isn't. Hold on. Oh my god. Never mind. Hold on.
I could do Google Voice, but I don't know. I would have to like do some weird shit to get you guys to be able to also hear the person on the other end of the call, probably. Or do like a group call, then that might work. I don't know.
Yeah, the one on the YouTube is being weird through my phone.
Good. Oh, good.
Yeah, it's like not showing the whole entire thing, at least on my phone. Okay, it's showing it on the PC.
Showing on the PC. Okay. Boop. Can I edit this? Can I not edit the description?
What, midstream?
Yeah, can I not? Well, can I not
I
change it? Like, it'd be nice if I could, right?
I mean, it's full on that screen. It's just, I wasn't able to see it on the.
That's annoying. I don't think I can change. I mean, there's probably a way to change it. I would just probably have to look over. Oh wait, duh. Hold on. Let me go to my streaming software, and I might actually be able to change it there. Switch account, select stream. I mean, should already be. Yep. Wow, what a control panel. It doesn't give me shit. Has 2 concurrent viewers, which are probably us too. But anyway.
Well, I texted him, so we'll see.
Yeah, so
he might be hanging out with his missus.
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll actually do another Discord link and I'll post it in the chat.
Oh, in the YouTube chat?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Copy link. Yeah, I'm gonna have to like redo this stuff. Copy link. Okay. Boop 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 beep. Boop boop boop. Well, the thing is, I don't know if people are gonna see it when they join, which is annoying.
I mean, also, maybe you can have a bot who does it every now and again.
That's what I would like to do. I need to figure out how to set that up. Which Yeah, it's more work for me. Anyway, it is really hot in this room. Ow. Oh, my back. Ow. Yes, hi, kitty. Okay. Oh, well. I saw you join, but again, you have, like, permissions. I don't know. I don't know. Pain in the ass is what it is. Pain in the ass. We'll figure it.
Always is when it comes to streaming.
No kidding. Anyway, I guess we'll get back to the thing. Actually, hold on, give me a sec. I'm gonna try this. Okay. Yeah, I think it works for me. Well, anyway, we'll just continue watching the video and see how it goes.
See how bad this guy's rhetoric is, and it's already really bad.
Oh, yeah, I should actually tell one of my friends that I'm streaming because she wanted to check it out. Right now. Beep, beep, beep. Oh, hello, Tinder. Okay. Boop, 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 boop.
As the rest of the things listed here. But obviously, when somebody identifies as anything, they are making a claim about reality. So the question is, on what basis?
I don't even think that's necessarily true.
Technically, it is reality.
I mean,
like they are feeling this way.
Yeah, exactly. They are making a claim of their own reality. How are you going to determine what their reality is, you asshole?
Mm-hmm.
You
bitch. You fucking bitch.
See, Danny Welbeck is making these claims based on a material referent. He's claiming to be a professional football player because he's made a living from playing football. He's claiming to be 32 years old because the Earth has gone around the sun 32 times since he was born. He's claiming to be black because of his ancestry being...
I mean, King Critical, like, right off the bat, I can assume King Critical just doesn't have a full understanding of any of it.
No, absolutely not. He's conflating sex and gender.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just right off the bat, he's conflating sex and gender. And
that's already when you lose.
kind of, yeah. But you can also...
You're not in the same conversation.
Yeah, well, one, you're not in the same conversation. Two, trans women do not claim to be female.
Exactly.
They claim to be women. They don't claim to be female, they claim to be women.
He's claiming to be English because he was born, raised, and has lived his life in England.
God.
And he's claiming to be 6'1" because that...
You know, this is observable material reality, right? Well, so it is observable in a trans individual as well, which he's probably going to believe it's just all in your mind or some shit. It's like, you want to know what your mind is made of? Material reality. Now, there are disorders that can make you delusional to maybe have this happen, but that's not a trans thing by any stretch.
Absolutely.
Describes the distance between the top of his head and the bottom of his feet when he is stood upright. These are the material references for these claims. By contrast, the reason all these facts are true for Danny DeVito is because of a different referent, self-identity.
I hate this. Like, now I don't even want to watch I don't want to watch it.
Self-identity meaning an arbitrary...
I need a chat to feed off of while doing this.
Yeah, we'll build it up. We'll build it up.
Yeah, I know it has to build. I have to get permission from multiple Discords to be able to post the stream and everything, and try and make people actually care.
Why is he 6'1"? Because he says he is. Why is he a professional football player? Because he says he is. I want to ask you a question. Do you think that fact claims based entirely on self-identity are true? Do you think these statements are equally true for both these
Technically, analytically they are, right?
Some people might...
Wait, what? Sorry.
Analytically they can be.
Hold on. Sorry, I was tagging someone in the Discord because I think he wanted to check out the stream.
Self-identity. To ask you a question. Do you
Alright, hold
why is he why
on,
identity?
sorry.
By contrast,
Alright,
the
here we
reason
go.
all these facts are true for Danny
Self-identity.
DeVito is because of a different
Self-identity is
preference.
based on material
Self-identity.
reality too.
Self-identity meaning an arbitrarily made assertion about reality. Why is he black? Because he says he is. Why is he 6'1"? Because he says he is. Why is he a professional football player?
This is
Because
not
he
a
says he
one-to-one
is.
by
I want to
any
ask you a
means.
question.
This
Do
is
you
so
think
stupid.
that fact claims based entirely on self-identity are true? Do you think these statements are equally true for both these
They're
men?
analytic
What if
proofs.
one of them was claiming to be a woman? Some people might
Mhm,
ask whether
mhm.
it's even possible to debunk an identity. To this,
I want to know this guy's definition for woman as well. I mean, he's just gonna say adult human female, but
I would say yes, of course it is.
I mean that's the best thing he can say for his position anyway.
These are claims about reality, and just like
Claims
any
about
claim
reality are either
they
true
can
or
be
false.
debunked. To clarify, the fact that we
They can be
assess
debunked, huh? Then how can you look at a trans person and be like, your reality is not reality? Like, how are you going to debunk it for them? Right? You're not going to know. So
the
stupid.
accuracy of an identity is not to say that such assessments are entirely free from obscurity and
Oh, you know what's funny? Claims about reality are either true or false. So if he says a trans woman is a man, then his claims on reality are false.
ambiguity, relativity, or
More or less.
subjectivity. We may not have enough information to assess the validity of an identity. The precise meaning of an identity might be complex and hard to pin down. The identity might be contingent on criteria that varies with context, or the identity might be based on an assessment that's more
Oh, Lime is still here. Hey, Lime. They said, this is just the first argument. It gets worse. Or better. It's bittersweet.
matter of opinion
It's
than
bittersweet.
anything else. While these caveats are worth bearing in mind, they're present for any claim about reality.
Lime, if you have any friends, feel free to link them the stream.
So the overall point that trans identity should be viewed basically the way we view claims about reality.
We'll
in
get there.
general
We'll get
still
there eventually.
stands. To me, it's obvious that words mean things, and we can talk about words having correct definitions. This doesn't mean that there isn't ambiguity at all. We can talk about whether a hot dog is a sandwich, maybe a calzone is a sandwich, but a pencil isn't a sandwich. If I ask for a sandwich and you give me a hot dog, I'm not going to say you're wrong. If you hand me a pencil, then yeah, you're wrong. You're incorrect. Whenever I say that we can talk about people being wrong about what words mean, I'll often have people simply...
So this guy's gonna just base all of reality on descriptive definitions.
On semantic.
Yeah, on semantics, descriptive definitions that will probably have multiple definitions. People prescribe their own definitions. So words have meanings doesn't mean shit. I mean, like, okay, like there's obviously like something there, like what is colloquially known, right? But language evolves over time, so it doesn't matter what the word's meaning was 1,000 years ago, obviously.
accuse me of being a
Sure.
prescriptivist, as if this is a rebuttal in
Oh,
itself. I'd like to
prescriptivist.
clear up an evident confusion on that point. When we talk about linguistic prescriptivism versus descriptivism, that's about linguistics as an academic discipline. The purpose of linguistics is to describe and explain the nature.
If we're doing a discussion like this, it immediately goes into an educational arena, right?
Mhm.
So him just saying it's like, oh, no, that prescriptivism and descriptivism doesn't apply to this is just horseshit.
Of language, rather than make pronouncements about how language should be. This doesn't mean that linguists are forbidden from having opinions about language. You can ask for a linguist's opinion on whether a hot dog is a sandwich, and a linguist can give an opinion without the academia police showing up calling them a heretic. I have opinions on language, but insofar as I'm interested in linguistics, I'm a descriptivist. My formal education is actually not in linguistics, but rather in international relations.
Tell in the chat.
So what? So what? Like, what, you brought that up?
In
Why?
international relations, there is definitely an
Ego
expectation
boost.
of descriptivism. International relations is the study of...
I mean, I guess if you do have like a YouTube channel, you want to, give yourself, you want to have some ego, right? You want to sound confident and everything. So that I understand putting it in there. But for the sake of an argument, not at all.
Why international actors behave the way they do.
Oh, wait,
And
is he actually
international relations
mixing it?
is the study of why international actors behave the way they do.
What does that have to do with trans people? I'm sure he's going to make it. I'm sure he's going to find a way to make it deal with trans people for no goddamn reason, but, we'll see.
and in none of my academic work did I ever moralize the issue and talk about how international actors should behave, because I was a descriptivist like most people in most academic disciplines. However, I hope you're not surprised to hear that I still have opinions on what international actors should do. I'm not an opinionless robot. Ditto for something like history. Historians study how and why events happened. In no real sense is the core conceit of history to make prescriptions about how people in the past should have behaved. But that doesn't preclude historians from having such opinions. You can't hand an academic linguist a sandwich when they ask for a pencil and expect that they'll be paralyzed from objecting by an academic commitment to descriptivism. So, given that everybody can have opinions about how we should understand certain words, what does it mean for a definition to...
So it sounds like this guy just doesn't want words to change their meaning ever, is kind of what I'm getting from this. He's like, everything else is just opinion, it's not reality. It's like, well, you don't know that, first of all. Second of all, definitions of words can become reality, or vice versa, really, but still.
Well, what do you mean by becoming real? Just like being able to...
So like
definitions evolving?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Definitions evolve, especially in terms of just like linguistics in general. We tend to give words different meaning, call them different things. Like, for example, you know how everyone uses the hashtag? That has other names that existed before hashtag was a thing. That was the pound symbol, the number system, the sharp. So now it's also the hashtag.
Yep.
So that like he just is refusing at surface level to he just refuses that words can change, which is, by the way, not reality, which he seems to love so much.
Be correct. The purpose of language is to communicate, and thus a use of a language
that's why people also have prescriptive definitions for linguistic utility. I have prescribed definitions for, at least for like my talking points, right? Especially on abortion. It's like I give these things specific definitions to help you understand my position for linguistic utility and clarification on a subject. Anyway.
Clearly an incorrect usage. When people...
Well, let me know if I'm like pausing too much for this shit. I'm just a little, God.
It's just so dumb.
It's so dumb.
In the past have suggested that it's ridiculous.
I mean, I guess that's why people are watching. They're here to watch the reaction.
My temptation has been to respond with a random sequence of words constituting complete gibberish to show that words having meanings matters. But maybe even while we might all agree that a guitar isn't a motorbike, some might point out that words have changed in the past, so we can't just shut down novel definitions by declaring them incorrect. One example I've seen given before is the reclassification of Pluto to no longer being considered a planet. Admittedly, I find it weird when people bring this up as...
it's a dwarf... I mean, it's a dwarf planet.
A reclassification of what the word planet actually means.
Yeah, well...
So if it doesn't fall under the description of planet, then it's not a planet.
I think that's what he's trying to get at. I'm curious how he'll defend himself against it, though.
Transidentity, because such people argue that they don't need to justify this redefinition of the terms man and woman with arguments and think it's immoral to debate such things. But the changes in language to which they appealed actually were accompanied by arguments for why we changed the usage of these terms.
Okay, so the definition of man and woman is subject to change as well. Like, I don't see why it's not, right? Like so the terms man and woman are obviously just they're social constructs, psychosocial, if you want to say.
Sure.
Technically, I would say most people aren't. I could say it's like most people aren't men and women, because sex in and of itself is also a sliding scale. It's also a spectrum. I forgot what the term was. It's not binomial. God damn it! I need to remember that word. But it's basically it's like a spectrum with peaks at the end of each side, which would be male and female. But either way. Actually, that'd be a good question. Maybe a good question for someone. It's like, well, how do you describe someone that's intersex without knowing? All you know is that they're intersex. You don't know if they have more male traits or more female traits. How would you describe them? There's obviously more than just man and woman. Yeah. Like, if you never saw the person, what would you call them? You just never saw the person, never knew the person. You just like, someone's intersex. How do you refer to them? No other context.
That's not bad.
Pluto is a useful
That might
example
work.
to discuss arguments for why definitions are correct and why we might change definitions to be even more correct. In other words, why correctness is a standard we can impose when discussing definitions. See, Pluto used to be considered a planet, but planets have certain features that Pluto just didn't really share. Therefore, if astronomers wanted to talk about planets, they would have had to keep making exceptions for Pluto, and consistently regarding Pluto as an exceptional planet only makes sense if there is a good reason to regard it as a planet at all. So Pluto was reclassified to basically being part of an asteroid belt. Technically not asteroids, but similar enough.
Does he not even know what it was classified to? I know that's not the point, but no. Pluto is a dwarf planet. It's a lovely dwarf planet. It's my favorite dwarf planet because it has a big-ass heart on it.
The point is that Pluto is
that doesn't
a lot
make it any
more
less
like these
special.
Other astronomical objects than it is like any of the planets. So again, to keep calling Pluto a planet, we'd be having to make exceptions for Pluto.
It's also
in both
smaller than Earth's moon, I
directions.
believe.
Scientists realized that it would be more coherent and concise to talk about the solar system and the objects within it if we no longer regard it
New debate topic. Pluto is not. Pluto is a dwarf planet.
Pluto as a planet. At this
That
point,
would be
if you
just
say
kind
that
of fun,
Pluto
I
is
think.
a planet, you're wrong.
It'd be fun.
Stupid,
Of course,
but
outside of astronomy, we could look to biology, where the classification of
We look
different
to
organisms is
biology.
this incredibly complex process where we basically
I'm gonna do a
have to make
category error again.
What was it?
Yeah, see, that's the whole thing. This whole thing is a category error.
What exactly
Whole
is a category?
definition thing.
Oh, okay.
is a
Fair
planet. You're
Oh,
wrong.
okay.
Of course, outside of
You're
astronomy, we could look to biology, where the classification of different organisms is this incredibly complex process
Yeah,
where
that's
we
taxonomy,
basically have to make the same considerations that we made regarding Pluto's planet.
which he is actually, I think, assuming what he's gonna say, he is actually right about this. Like taxonomic definitions change quite a lot. It's like fun fact, a lot of things that are like fungus and like we differentiate between fungus, animals, plants. There's a good amount of overlap for some of them where it's like they are not quite fully an animal or not quite fully a fungus. They're almost both and shit like that. So it's weird. Like basically, you know, we had all like the kingdoms, right? But the kingdoms themselves aren't even necessarily totally accurate and shit.
Sure.
Anyway,
Planet status. What matters is analytic utility. You're probably familiar with the non-avian dinosaurs that went extinct some 65 million years ago, and you're probably aware that
this is an avian dinosaur.
we also have avian dinosaurs,
What is that
also
one?
known as birds. Why did scientists do this?
Anyway.
Because non-avian dinosaurs and birds are similar, such that it wouldn't make sense to pretend that they're different. Likewise, birds are now considered reptiles.
This
because
is
again,
stupid.
there isn't a good argument for drawing a distinction between birds and
They're
other
not
reptiles.
reptiles.
This might
Yeah.
often seem kind of arbitrary and confusing, as David Mitchell
Well, also dinosaurs weren't reptiles. Another fun fact: dinosaurs are not reptiles. They share a lot of traits with reptiles, but they are not.
I didn't know that.
For example, pterodactyl, not a dinosaur. It's a flying reptile. Yep, mosasaur, marine reptile, not a dinosaur. Marine reptile.
So funny.
Yeah, I have a friend that really likes dinosaurs,
Dinosaurs are fucking cool.
and they're so fucking cool. It's true.
Even though a chimp is totally in every meaningful way, obviously it's a monkey. It's not a monkey.
It's
A
not.
special place that's been made by biologists for pedants to reside, so that whenever anyone refers to a chimpanzee as a monkey like you did, then a pedant like me says, "Oh no, a chimpanzee isn't a monkey," and I've started to hate myself for that.
Of course, in reality,
I
these
feel that with some
distinctions
things. I feel that with some, like saying the dinosaur thing I just did right now. I get it.
They're fucking reptiles.
It's like I just want to show you I'm not as dumb as I see. Well, maybe I am. I don't know.
They're there because there are substantial differences between monkeys and apes that warrant them being considered distinct groups. So, with all this in
Okay.
mind, what about men and women?
We're of the same species, asshole.
What determines the difference between them? Well, my contention
Genotypic and phenotypic sex characteristics. Primarily the genotypic sex characteristics. Not even chromosomes are a good descriptor of who is a quote unquote man or woman. There are females that have XY chromosome, for example. Like that's a thing. It might not be the norm, but it exists. Therefore,
is that
right?
of biological sex.
Can't be universal.
Dinosaurs are reptiles, but they aren't lizards. I thought dinosaurs just weren't reptile. I know they well, obviously they probably evolved from reptiles. Dinosaurs, reptile. Now we're going to another thing. Oh, a diverse group of reptiles called clade Dinosauria. Beep. Okay, so they're a type of reptile. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, okay. So
How dare you spread misinformation?
I know. I'm so sorry. Sorry, Lime. Please don't leave us.
Thank you for putting Krome in his place.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So but I believe pterodactyls are still just flying reptiles, and they're still not dinosaurs, right? I believe that's the case.
With biological sex being,
but splitting hairs, kind of, depending who you're talking with.
Defined by how the phenotype is organized around facilitating the function of the large or small gamete in sex.
Phenotypic, yeah, but we can change phenotypic characteristics. Genotypic is the one we can't yet.
Sexual reproduction.
We're working on it.
Are highly sexually dimorphic, so
Always.
the common
sexually dimorphic
critique that this is reducing sex down to one singular thing just doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
Rather, we should be looking at biological sex in a holistic way, with a mind towards how vast and all-encompassing the physiological reality of sexual dimorphism in humans so often is.
Okay.
Within this context, the anomalies caused by differences of sexual development are properly understood as not overriding the reality of the sex binary. Since differences of sexual development are variations within the binary, they actually prove it. Conditions that cause differences of sexual development actually affect males and females differently, so the sex binary is the best way to understand even these conditions. Some people try to force the variation of human sexual development onto a spectrum. They have to arbitrarily and
clumsily. You want me to pull up one of my studies on mosaicism and see how arbitrary and clumsy it is? Does this guy want that? Should I provide that with? Well, I mean, I can pull it up. Though I need to actually look more into it myself. But like we have the shit. Like I have the fucking receipts for this. It's like it's not arbitrary. It's not random. It's not forced. We just observed it. Mosaic Turner syndrome with 45 chromosomes X and 46 XY mosaicism and apparent absent uterus. Let's see. Turner syndrome is a relatively common chromosomal abnormality. Basically, there are a lot of variations. I have some other ones, but basically, yeah, no, there are definitely variations, and we understand the variations. We will use the sex categories to try and like identify if they have more male or female. That's whatever. It doesn't. Basically, what trans comes down to is it doesn't matter if they're male, female, anywhere in between. It's what your social schema on your person is going to be.
Yeah, it's your cognitive.
Yeah, it's
state.
your.
It's not even that hard.
Yeah, basically, no one chooses to be trans. No one feels like they're trans. They just are.
I mean, I guess in a way you can say feel, but it's not even about feeling trans. It's feeling that.
Yeah,
you're not what people say you are.
Yeah, you don't feel trans. You feel different. I mean, I'm not trans, so I couldn't tell you. But
you just feel weird when people call you by what you don't think you are.
So yeah, just basically this guy saying that it's random, forced, and
so the sex binary is the best way
clumsy.
To even
is just disingenuous.
Some people try to force the variation of human sexual development onto a spectrum. They have to arbitrarily and clumsily shove all of these different conditions onto a continuum as if they are separated by something quantifiable rather than being qualitatively.
They are separated through observation, right? Like qualitative, quantifiable. We can see how they differentiate. It's like we have the receipts for this.
That no believer in the sex spectrum has the strength of conviction to actually.
Someone needs to debate this guy.
Oh, dude,
Or
you
have a
get rolled.
Or have a discussion. Yeah, no, I don't even think he'd have a shot.
We could invite him if he's that small. But I don't think we would be big enough for his ego.
Maybe not.
Elucidate what exactly the x-axis is. They don't actually believe that maleness and femaleness are on a spectrum, and that these
Go into his comments, link our reaction to him.
differences of sexual development determine how male or female you are. Try to get them to substantiate what they mean by
I like how he just has this area over wrong. It's just wrong. He can't substantiate why it's wrong, but he knows it's wrong.
Yeah, dude, he's so smart.
He's so smart.
and you will see they don't believe it. The big issue for proponents
Who doesn't
of the sex spectrum is that they don't seem to realize what spectra even are. Their biggest mistake seems to be thinking that to show that biological sex is complicated is as good as showing it is spectral. In reality, complex does not mean
spectral? I don't think he... Is that a definition of spectral? Can you use spectral in this sense? Whenever I hear spectral, I always think of ghosts, basically. Maybe it is, I don't know.
And binary does not mean simple. In a binary, you can have limitless anatomical diversity while still having all bodies organized around facilitating...
Yeah. So, sex isn't a binary. What is it? Not that. Not binary. But I can't remember the damn word. Data set that
bimodal.
It might be bimodal.
Yeah, sex isn't strictly binary. It's bimodal.
Yeah, bimodal distribution, probability distribution that has two distinct peaks or modes. Yep. Thank you, bimodal. I should actually just put that in.
You should put it into the notes.
I really should.
Common binary for chromosomes is XX for female, XY for male, but there's also XXY, XYY, XO, XXYY, androgen insensitivity syndrome, mosaicism, or meiocism. I don't know.
Mosaicism. Yeah.
Yeah, that.
So, yeah, no, this is all observable. He's just denying it.
He's just a little bitch.
He's just a little bitch.
One out of
Yeah.
two candidates, and there's no difficulty there. Conversely, in a spectrum, you now have to take all of that limitless anatomical diversity and reduce it down to being described by a singular x-axis. So that's the biological sex reference. But you might be wondering why actually define man and woman by biological sex. Well, firstly,
Why the biology referent?
Referent.
This guy's using words that I don't know about. He loves his definitions, apparently.
I want to point out that we need to define men and women by something. When we look at society, it is clear that these two distinct groups exist. To deny that men and women exist would be to deny reality, and it would...
If that was the case, why are people confused sometimes?
Good point.
Like, again, just because it's not the norm doesn't mean it's not real.
Just as much be denying reality to anchor our understandings of these terms in something illusory or superficial. Throughout history, we see that...
Like, honestly, with, like, if I shaved my beard, mustache, put on some makeup, could maybe pull something off.
Men and women have existed as two distinct groups, and
Let's
moreover,
try it.
we often see that the biggest distinction to be found between men and women has been in economic roles extending from biology. One of the earliest books exploring the origins of patriarchy by Engels pointed to patriarchy as an initially economic oppression rooted in women being biologically female. If this oppression is a substantial part of why we today understand...
He says if it's a substantial part, so he doesn't even know. He doesn't even know.
Men and
He done
women
goof.
as distinct groups, would it not be denying reality to detach that distinction?
Reality is very different from how it was however many years ago you're talking about.
I know, things change. Isn't that crazy? Isn't
Yeah,
that bonkers?
Don't you know we actually have seen black holes now?
No,
For
I
example,
thought we only see
But of course,
puddles.
I need you.
What?
You need to be in timeout for like 5 minutes.
No.
Women's
I'm making it
liberation is-
entertaining.
Yeah, by talking about buttholes.
Dude, when did you hear that? I said black holes, dude. Come on.
At least as important as women's oppression in terms of understanding the reality of women's existence. But again, when we consider women's liberation, we see that women are biological females. When the suffragettes campaign...
This is not tracking with trans people today, which trans people have like always existed. We know that to be true, but like every time someone talks about shit like this, it always makes me think it's like, oh, why don't we go back to the good old days where women couldn't vote and where there was, you know, segregation between the races and shit like that. Now, I'm obviously not saying I'm not I'm not saying this guy actually believes any of that, but like it always kind of makes me feel like that.
Oh, dude. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
Women, for whom were they fighting? Did women gain the right to vote in the early 1900s, or was it just biological females who happened to identify as women? In the present day, consider the fact that the United States has never had a woman president. Now, this speaks to a lack of representation, and more than that, it speaks to the structural inequalities and systemic oppressions that have led to a situation where it is so rare for world leaders to be women. With this in mind, would it have been an achievement for women if Biden had just decided to identify as a woman?
Oh my... You just broke my brain. What is happening?
Lime, how do you know about this channel? I want to know, like, does he like do other shit, or does he just make videos?
Dude,
he has a British voice, therefore he sounds smart.
Dude, it's like Alex O'Connor, dude.
Yeah, well, Alex O'Connor's actually smart though, so.
Oh no, he's brilliant.
Yeah, I love Alex.
Dialectic abilities are pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, he's really good. He's always so calm and polite.
Yeah, seriously.
So
he calls it out so gently, but also vehemently.
I mean, to be fair, he does typically, at least from what I've seen, he tends to debate against people that are also like in, like kind of like in debate. So a lot of times they'll be more polite and shit when they're actually debating against him. But like if he was like, for example, talking to like Andrew Tate or something, it'd be totally different, I'm sure.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't even understand why he can still talk.
I don't even know how he can. I don't even know how. I don't even know how Andrew Tate knows how to talk.
Looking at the reality.
Oh, Lime, this video popped up on my feed and I decided to watch it. My condolences.
Of women's existence as a social group.
Curiosity killed the cat.
Biological male president simply identifying as a woman meaningfully speak to
relevance
advancement for women. I've mentioned the idea of analytic utility, and I think in the case of most social groups, this can be encapsulated with one word: significance. What correctly defining certain groups allows us to do is recognize the significance of what it means for somebody.
I don't like how he talks about referencing different groups. He kind of talks about it in a clinical way, which is probably technically the most the best utility of talking about it, but like
no nuance.
It gives me the ick a little bit, I guess.
To be a member
I don't have anything.
A 2-year-old solving
I'm just
equations is
digging too deep.
But not if that 2-year-old is actually just an adult identifying as a 2-year-old. Gay relationships being celebrated is significant, but not if in fact what's being celebrated is heterosexual relationships being mistaken for gay ones. And of
dude,
what's
this
he talking
crazy
about?
work.
What is he talking about?
Talking about marriages and misunderstanding whether or not people are gay or not.
I don't know. Okay, so he says significance, and I'm like, significance of your statement right now? What is significant about your statement? I guess I'll go over it again. That kind of broke me a little bit.
I've mentioned the with one word: significance. What correctly defining certain groups allows us to do is recognize the significance of what it means for somebody to be a member of that group. A 2-year-old solving quadratic equations is significant, but not if that 2-year-old...
So, relative qualifications between different groups on different things. But like, if he's gonna say it's relative, then well, so this is just gonna boil down to he thinks that the only way to determine gender is through like genotypic and phenotypic sex, which just isn't how reality works. So
is actually just an adult
I
identifying
think I said that
as a
right.
2-year-old.
Did I say something
Gay
wrong?
relationships being celebrated is significant, but not if in fact what's being celebrated is heterosexual relationships being mistaken for gay ones. And of course, a woman becoming president or in some other way breaking down barriers is significant, but not if all we're in fact talking about is a biological male identifying as a woman.
That's an assumption.
So that's the case for defining the categories of man and woman.
That's an assumption.
With reference to biological sex. But what are the alternatives? Well, I would argue that the three most common ways of defining a woman lead you with three choices. You either be incoherent.
He's going to say the three most common ways, and I think these are just going to be subjective, like his own personal things.
You rely on sexism, or you exclude biological males.
What? Rely on sexism. No. Be incoherent. What? And exclude males. What?
Oh, yeah, fuck males.
Yeah, true.
Now, excluding
I need to get out of here.
males is the definition we've already covered, as that would just be the biological referent. You can probably males is the definition you exclude biological males. Now, excluding biological males is the definition we've already covered, as that would just be the biological referent. You can probably already guess that the incoherent definition is that a woman is anybody who identifies as a woman. Deep down, every...
No, I disagree with that.
What did he say?
No, right now he's here. He's assuming what people ascribe, or he's assuming what people prescribe the definition for woman and shit like that.
Lead you with three choices. You either be incoherent, you rely on sexism,
Untrue.
or
Untrue.
you exclude biological males.
I'm curious what that means.
Biological males is the definition we've already covered, as that would just be the biological referent. You can probably already guess that the incoherent definition is that a woman is any...
Yeah, no, that's not the definition I would use for a woman. Obviously.
What would you use?
Here, let me pull it up. For the sake of trans discussion anyway. Boop, boop, boop. Did you put definition of woman in the thing you wrote up?
I don't remember.
I don't think you did.
That wasn't under definitions, was it?
No, I don't think so. But
Maybe
I'll just pull up.
So fucking obvious.
It's so obvious. Yeah, no, one of the things that's going to happen is they're going to ask us to define woman. I'll be like, okay, adult human whose gender identity aligns with their schema on the female sex. Which we can... I might adjust that a little bit. I'm borrowing that definition from someone else. But basically, so that would be more so like a... Hold on. That would be with their schema on the females. You know, yeah, maybe I do need to just make my own definition.
Person who identifies with the social and psychological role traditionally assigned to women in their culture.
Well, no, you don't want to use woman in the definition, though. So it would be an adult human who's... Well, okay, so like a trans woman is an adult human whose gender identity does not align with the female sex, basically. Typical characteristics to that of a female sex. Or I said trans man? Trans man is an adult human whose gender identity doesn't align with the born sex. Basically, I had a much better definition before, and now I'm just like, wait. So I'm gonna refine that, but it's either way, I would not use the definition that this guy is assuming people use.
Who identifies as a woman. Deep down, everybody knows the issue.
Because obviously, like a trans woman, like if some like guy who is male at birth and identifies as a man, if they say if they just out of nowhere say I identify as a woman, it's like, well, that we're not necessarily going to think they're a woman right off the bat, right? Now, if they want to go into detail about why they claim they're a woman, then maybe we can find out. You know?
Here's a better one. A woman is a person who identifies with, internalizes, or is socially categorized within the culturally constructed role historically associated with femininity and female social treatment.
Yeah,
That one's a
basically.
mouthful, though.
That one is a mouthful. We might need to trim that down a little bit. Because if we do something like that, they're going to be like, you're really trying to stretch the definition of woman or something. They're going to claim that.
And then we'll claim that they're fucking idiots
And
that
then
can't
just like, yeah.
analyze a definition.
Yeah, and being a woman is different for every woman, so you don't... I mean, they're going to ask for a definition, and if you don't, at least for the sake of debate or discussion, if you don't provide the definition, they're just going to assume you don't know what you're talking about. So we, unfortunately, need to have a definition of woman to be able to counter their argument.
Here's a shorter version. Someone who identifies with or is recognized within the social role associated with femininity within their culture. That one's a little shorter.
but there are pretty masculine women out there too. So basically, their social schema does not align with their sex at birth. That would be a trans person. Their psychosocial schema does not align with their sex at birth.
But simply put, if you include the word you're defining in the definition, then you're not defining the word. Because if somebody then
That's
asks
true,
what
but
the definition means,
but people who know what they're talking about aren't going to use that definition.
you end up having to explain what it means to identify.
This is probably the guy that goes to like college campuses and shit and just tries to get randoms in on it, and then just drives up his ego.
As a woman, and suddenly you're stuck in a loop. A woman is somebody who identifies as somebody who identifies as somebody who identifies as somebody who identifies.
Yes, it's a circular definition.
This definition is circular and therefore completely incoherent. Now, you might try to base a definition for woman in something concrete that isn't biological sex, but in doing so, many people end up defining woman with reference to sexist stereotypes. They'll say that a woman is somebody who lives as, moves as, is treated as, sleeps as, eats as, dresses as.
No, the crazy thing about what he's saying right here is that's typically what transphobes do. That's how they describe women. So that's crazy to say.
Or perhaps even washes the dishes as a woman.
No, we're not going to say that.
In this way is
that's so stupid.
And offensive.
Yeah, so maybe transphobes should stop saying that's what women are.
Now, some people will try to claim it's not sexist by arguing that this is about more than just traditional conceptions of femininity. However, the double bind here is that the less they try to make it about a clearly defined womanly way of existing.
The fact that I only kind of really just started delving into trans concerns and trans rights, trans people, it's good to know that someone made a 41-minute video about his whole ass argument for why trans people aren't real, basically, and that it's so easy to debunk despite the amount of time and effort he put into this fucking video. Gives me hope for what we're going to be doing with our stream.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. It's like, is this really... I mean, I know this isn't the best they've got. It can't be. I think I've heard better arguments, but,
The more incoherent it becomes. They might say, for example, that living as a woman doesn't mean living in a traditional sexist way. It just means living any way that a woman might live. But at that point, you're returning back to the circularity of the previous understanding. How do we know who's a woman to say how a woman might live? Now, there is an alternative definition that maybe escapes this double bind. Trans identity could be an attitude towards one's biological sex. This understanding is better simply because it utilizes the referent of biological sex.
Oh, Lime has a definition. Oh, wait. I think a woman is someone who identifies as woman is an okay definition because the first word refers to the subject who is supposedly a woman, and the second word woman is the class woman, which can get its own definition. Well, it's still a circular definition. People aren't going to accept that, right? At least for for what we're trying to achieve here. Like in casual conversation, like if someone's just like, "Oh, you're not a woman," you just be like, "The fuck, I'm not," and walk off. You know, feel free to do that. I'm not going to promote violence, even though I think that would be funny. I don't want anyone to go to prison. But you know, just act better than them because you are better than them.
But isn't like masculine and like feminine, like gender expressions, not gender themselves?
Yeah. Well, masculinity and femininity are also social. Those are social constructs that have developed over many years. Many years, and they've changed over many years, right? Like women used to be the homemakers. They were the ones that stayed at home, took care of the kids, and shit like that. And the roles have changed. I don't think this guy gets that. Well, no, I think he gets it, but he's not good at explaining it, I guess. I don't know. Really, this guy is just making a lot of assumptions. He's assuming it will always be a bad argument, right? So he's straw manning. He's unable to steel man the pro-trans position. Therefore, all of his arguments are just going to be stupid and aren't going to have any weight behind them. Notice, like, not once has he provided, let me look at his description. Does he have any sources? Not a single one.
No, it's trust me, bro.
It is all trust me, bro. What the fuck?
Dude, that's the best source, dude.
It's the best source.
Better than Newsmax, bro.
Shit.
Maybe. Is a coherent definition, but then simply adds an additional consideration of how.
Oh, actually, I need to feed the cats, so I will be right back.
All right. After these messages, I'm going to talk about black holes now.
I can mute you.
I know you can.
All right, yeah. I'll mute myself, though. Be right back. I'm also going to use the bathroom.
All right. Go for it. All right, friends. What are we talking about today?
I can still hear you.
Do you have anything, Lime? I know you can. Anything you want to talk about, Lime? Anything? Doesn't even necessarily have to be trans. Because all I like to talk about is philosophy. And I just have a whole entire notes full of God is evil on my desktop right now. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, sure. Yeah, so, yeah, God is an evil fuck. So basically, a being that permits or basically designs some sort of world where gratuitous suffering occurs is not a good one here. Like, this is like a better way of saying it. Like, if a being is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnibenevolent, all-loving, all-powerful, all-knowing, it would neither cause nor allow gratuitous suffering. And there's things like freaking leukemia, parasitic infections, ALS, and this can actually like occur in like infants. And I don't know why God would be like, hey, yo, it's cool to have some parasites here that can, grow larvae into adult worms in the body and can live up to 15 years inside that body. And this causes severe itching. And honestly, it seems like the victims will scratch themselves raw. I don't know about you, but I think that's evil as fuck. I just don't see the justification of having, what are they called? Black flies. They serve nothing to the ecosystem except themselves. I mean, I would have to take that up with God apparently. Like, hey, God, what's up with that? ALS is fucked up too. The I can't talk today. It's been too long. Neurodegenerative condition affects the nerve cells in the brain and spinal cord, leading to muscle weakness and paralysis. Primarily impacts voluntary muscle movements, and there literally is no cure for the disease. And this can occur in young kids and even infants. So, like, before they can even function, before they're even developing their brain to the fullest extent. What Christian on his way to explain that the reasons of people under their skin is because some other people. Oh my god, dude. Oh yeah, I could also do that one. Like, that's crazy work. Oh my god. Yeah, no, you're right. Some kid would probably do that, and it's silly. They'd have to justify why God would allow this certain evil, though. Because, like, there's certain evils that he doesn't allow. I remember one, Ian did, which is, I can't blow people up with my mind. That's evil. But he's cool with having infants getting infected with parasites that chew out their eyeballs and cause blindness. So I don't know if they actually chew it out, but yeah, it's quite fucked. Not to mention, he literally watches genocide occur on a decade by decade basis. I even have a fucking list of genocides. Actually, I'm not gonna go into it because I might get the stream taken down. I always forget about the naughty words. But I'll just, like, the Armenian one, obviously, the Kost Hollow, Cambodian, Bosnian, Rwandan. Oh my god, I saw that movie. That movie was sad. Oh my god. So they would have to be like, oh yeah, well, it's free will. That's probably what they would go to. But then you could just go to natural disasters, or you could literally loop back to diseases that have no bearing on free will. So, I mean, how is diseases sin? I just don't get that. Like, it's really hard to think about this, like, from my perspective, because there's, like, literally nothing in my brain that would be able to justify diseases.
Guess who's back? Back again.
Back again? Krome is back? Tell Lime?
Hi, Lime. I'm back.
Yeah, we're just talking about God being evil and shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. Let's see.
I have like a ton of Bible quotes too. I have a lot, actually. Hey, what's going on, Sigma? Sigma. Oh my god.
Sigma.
Sigma.
Sigma. The big ol' Sigma in here.
Sigma's feet.
Oh, is that Kara? Is that you?
Oh gosh. Squid, what's good?
Hey, Squid, what's up? Welcome.
Nothing. I came back from the gym and now everything's sick.
Everything's sick. All right.
Sick as in good or sick as in bad?
Sick as in litty titty awesome.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, bro.
So,
Hell yeah.
Christian, what does Lion say? Christian on his way to explain that the reason some people have larva under their skin is because larva under their skin is because some other people ate an apple once.
Yeah, we're talking about black flies, Onchocerciasis. Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, Kara, if you have other people that wouldn't mind watching, You know, I mean, this is only like our second stream, so obviously there's not going to be like many people, but you know, the more the better, obviously.
Just be a. This is the internet. Just be a whore.
True.
Kara, get people in here now.
No, it's. Yeah. All right. Well, clearly it just means I need to start an OnlyFans to supplement. To supplement. Yeah.
Yeah. To see the nips, you gotta see the stream.
Sigma's feet would probably love feet.
Maybe.
I have the most Sigma feet. I really don't.
What does that even mean? You don't. What does it mean to have?
I don't. My feet aren't like big or anything. Well, I don't know what the qualifiers of Sigma feet are.
What's the qualifier? Like, do they? Are
What
they like sexist?
what
do
is
you mean?
what is the necessary qualifier of Sigma
Yeah,
feet?
what's the qualifier of a Sigma foot? Yeah,
Alright,
my foot
we have
insults
to...
women on COD. Like, what the fuck?
My feet tread on incel Reddit all day.
Yeah, exactly. My feet want to be Patrick Bateman.
Hell yeah.
Oh shit. Anyway, Squid, I am like currently asking multiple like Discords if I'm allowed to like advertise Aurora debates. I was talking with the owner. She might advertise on it. Maybe. We'll see.
Let us be e-whores. Excellent.
True. You already are one, so it's fine.
It's true, I am.
All right, so we're gonna continue.
No pink shaming.
We're gonna, you know what? Let's move back a little bit here for Mr. Squid. So this guy makes a lot of assumptions. Basically, he strawmans everything.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah,
that's fun.
So much fun. Let's see.
You can probably already guess that the incoherent cuts as a woman. So that's the case for defining the categories of man and woman with reference to biological sex. But what are the alternatives? Well,
so basically, another thing. This guy admits that word usage does change over time, but he just doesn't seem to want to accept it.
Okay. Lit. Nice. Competing ideas.
Three choices. You either be incoherent, you rely on sexism, or you exclude biological males. Now, excluding biological males is the definition we've already covered, as that would just be the biological referent. You can probably already guess that the incoherent definition is that a woman is anybody who identifies as a woman.
Like, I was telling THC and Lime, since they're one of the viewers, that no, I do not agree with this definition necessarily, at least in terms of discussion on transgender people. It's also a circular definition, which he does get into.
Knows the issue with this definition, but simply put, if you include
it's not even deep down, we just know why it doesn't really work as a definition.
Word you're defining in the definition, then you're not defining a word. Because if somebody then asked what the definition means in more detail, you'd end up having to explain what it means to identify as a woman, and suddenly you're stuck in a loop. A woman is somebody who identifies as somebody who identifies as somebody who identifies as somebody who identifies, and so on forever. This definition is circular and therefore completely incoherent. Now, you might try to say that.
I don't like it. He feels like he's trying to like what's the color? Ask him what the color red is.
True.
It's the color red.
It's the color red,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like in he's trying to apply like laws of logic to like definitions, which is theoretically fine, but to say like a definition acts as if the same as like a logical argument of like proposition conclusion is like incorrect.
Yeah.
Really the only things I'm just gonna bring out fucking Aristotle was just so good at categories and topics,
this is why I have you two on the stream. You guys know way more about that shit than I do currently.
Yeah, like
so
really the only definitions of words that like don't work is like for me would be something that like includes everything, like all categories outside of the word itself, everything, right? Like if you have a category that you're pretending. If you have a category that you're pretending is specific, but it isn't specific at all, it includes everything, then it's like, that's a problem.
Yeah.
And then the other one are just words that like don't actually mean anything. But like anyone who identifies as a woman is like extremely quantifiable. That's like, you can easily quantify that. So it's just like, the argument that it's circular is kind of like irrelevant.
Mhm.
Whether or not it is, like you could
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
say
yeah.
it's not, but I would just say like even
Yeah,
if it
yeah.
is, it's an irrelevant complaint.
Yeah, you should have seen the shit he was saying earlier, but we're not gonna start over.
Oh yeah, it was bad.
No offense.
It was dumb.
A woman in something concrete that
Oh, I
isn't
hate this.
biological sex.
Can you turn
In
the
doing so-
volume a little bit? It's like
Turned it up?
can't yeah, just a
Oh yeah, apparently I did lower it. Okay.
So many people end up
Too loud.
defining woman with reference to sexist
That's it.
stereotypes. They'll say that a woman is somebody who lives as, moves as, is treated as, sleeps as, eats as, dresses as, or perhaps even washes the dishes.
I really hate, and I was
Bruh,
saying earlier,
fuck
I really
off.
hate this argument because this is exactly what transphobe rhetoric is.
Yeah.
It's exactly what
truly is.
transphobe rhetoric is. It's like, oh, women are this, this, and this. That's what they say all the time, and trans women are just like, it's just a different woman. Not all women are the same. Lime. The color red is electromagnetic radiation with a wavelength
Yeah.
between 620 and 750 nanometers. Shut the fuck up, Lime.
I know. I just got wrecked. I'm a libtard. What can I say?
Dishes as a woman. Defining a woman in this way is incredibly regressive.
It's okay. They got me on dinosaurs earlier.
I know. It's literally
Oh,
like
yeah.
that, you know that
That
meme.
hurt my feelings.
But you know that meme where they take like a simple phrase and they just make it more and more and more and more complicated, but it's the same
Oh
phrase.
yeah,
Mhm,
yo,
mhm.
those are the
That's
best.
that's what Lime did. That's what Lime just did to me.
Yeah, yeah.
I want more
and
though.
offensive. Now, some people will try to claim it's not sexist by arguing that this is about more than just traditional conceptions of femininity. However, the double bind here is that the less they try to make it about a clearly defined womanly way of existing, the more incoherent it becomes. They might say, for example, that living as a woman doesn't mean living in a traditional sexist way, it just means living any way that a woman might live. But at that point, you're returning back to the circularity of the previous understanding. How do we know who's a woman to say how a woman might live? Now, there is an alternative definition that maybe escapes this double bind. Trans identity could be an attitude towards one's biological sex. This understanding is better simply because it utilizes the referent of biological sex, which is a coherent definition, but then simply adds an additional consideration of how one feels about it. What is...
It's not just how they feel. It's just who they are, which I know isn't like a terribly quantifiable statement, and I'm not trans myself, so I don't know how it feels. But it's not just a feeling. It's a feeling of who they are, basically.
I think you would. I mean, maybe I would just. I would just say it's like an extremely intense feeling if you want. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's like when they say it's a feeling, it kind of downplays the whole thing.
No, I understand. Yeah, but again, whatever. You know, I'm
yeah.
So it's just like it is just like an extremely intense feeling, but like.
Yeah, I mean that's all we are as people. We're
Yeah,
just
but it's like that doesn't
intense
undermine
feelings.
it. Like.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of things, right? So,
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I guess the only reason you wouldn't want to say it's a feeling is because you could say you feel like something else that people wouldn't recognize. Like somebody said they feel like a dog, you would be like, "Okay, that's crazy, bro," but you're not a dog.
Yeah.
So maybe that would be like the only thing.
Yeah.
That would change.
Yeah. No. Trans people do not think they can turn into different animals.
Yeah, exactly.
And
So, but
that's
then
always weird
whatever.
Yeah.
I would
Less
still say
coherent is
Yeah.
the idea that somebody is a woman if they feel like a woman. This makes no sense because it assumes that men and women have a particular feeling in terms of how they exist, which would be an impossible thing to claim to know. But even if this was true...
Okay, pause.
Yeah.
I mean, well, one, this is like weird. This is being like, your feelings are incorrect.
Correct. Yeah.
Which is like a statement that doesn't function properly.
That's been like his whole thing. He just makes assumptions of what people feel like without knowing what they actually feel like.
No, I'm like psychotic, right? Like, I've had people get upset with me, and I like refuse to apologize and do all kinds of like psycho shit. But at no point, and no matter how like deranged I get, where I'm telling you like, no, I've had arguments where I was like, I don't care that I made you upset. Like, what I do that was immoral. Making you upset is not a problem. Like, I've been but at no point in my psychotic rampages do I ever say like you are feeling incorrectly.
Correct.
That's like not how.
Yeah,
like
it's
not
just
how
not
feelings
yeah.
are. They just are a thing that exists.
This guy assumes reality is his reality, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then he's like, if you can't like the problem with that is if you can't prove any emotion, then like What does that
Yeah.
even mean? You can't prove
Yeah.
that what it feels like to be a
We
woman.
just-
Or like, what does it feel like to be happy exactly? Like,
Well,
the
you can
problem is
map.
the
You
moment-
can map happiness through the brain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you can
why-
also map like being gender dysphoric.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even-
Lime got you again. Goddamn.
I know. I'm right.
Fa-
But my point would be like, if you were to describe it in words, like irrespective of measuring it, because this is
Yeah.
what this is really what he's saying. He's like, you can't explain it in words. Like if I were to say like explain exactly what happiness is, you can't do it.
Yeah, there's no
Like,
way.
you can give me a lot of words, but the idea that you've like, oh, he did it. He explained happiness. This is
Yeah, there's no way.
And like encompasses every type of happiness that has ever existed would just be like wrong.
Yeah, because people are gonna find different happiness from different things.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, you know, I guess Hitler found satisfaction in killing Jews. Is like that.
Or it's not even that. Like, how do you
But yeah.
describe like
You
bad
can't.
happiness?
You can't. Yeah, it's
Like,
it's
when
just
you
something that's
go-
not quantifiable, as you would put it.
Yeah, like when you go to your dad's gravestone and then you're crying, but you remember a happy moment and you smile for a second. Like, describe that. In
Yeah,
the
sure.
definition of like normal happiness. Like, that's
Yeah.
probably
There's no good normative definition of happiness. I don't think
No.
there can be.
At least that's not all encompassing.
Yeah. You'd be like, I feel more dopamine or some shit, or I get more
Yeah.
dopamine. But anyway.
Yeah.
True. Nobody could claim to feel like a woman because the only way they'd know how that feels is to know how other women feel and
Fucking
accurately identify
Okay.
that they feel that way too. Any attempt to resolve this becomes the circular claim that they know they're women because they are women, so how they feel must be how women feel. What I'm interested in is the definition that basically defines whether you're a man or woman with
Again, it goes back to your point. He's basically he himself has to make the claim that he knows what women feel and what they're feeling is different.
No, his
There's no
yeah.
way.
Oh shit, that's actually so, bro. Your brain's big. You're basically like, I know that I don't know what a woman feels like.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I don't know what a woman feels like, but this.
I guess what if you did know? Like, you probably know. I mean,
Well, then maybe I would actually get a fucking date.
You probably know a little bit. Like, you probably have some inkling of what it's like to.
I mean, like I have some feminine qualities, sure, yeah, but you know,
Bro,
I
you
don't
should
identify.
and learn about the anima and all that other
Oh
bullshit.
God. Oh God. I'm
reference
continuing
to
on before
your
we go into that.
enthusiasm for the biological sex with which you were born. Now, there are still some issues for this definition.
Not liking? What?
I don't know.
That's
I
not
mean,
what gender.
He's just presenting a definition he believes he has found
The
out
thing
of
is
himself.
that even amongst
I will
trans
not criticize.
activists, it's
If people actually have that definition, then that's whatever.
Yeah.
seems
It
quite
is
controversial.
technically true.
Any trans act-
In a way, like, so it's not, but yeah, obviously it's not strictly just not liking what you were given. It's like there's like an innate sense, and you don't like that sensation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I would still that technically falls under that definition, but yes, I understand.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
word liking is downplaying it. I understand.
Activists will dismiss this way of thinking about trans identity as being basically transmedicalism. Apart from this, by saying that people's attitudes towards their bodies basically defines who they are, you are functionally validating some harmful ideas people can have about themselves. Should we really tell people that if they hate their bodies, then that hatred of their bodies should be a significant part of defining them?
This is when my argument comes into play. This is when my
Which one?
The one about the medical stuff. But
Oh,
like, if
yeah.
I gave you a pill that stopped you from being trans thing, this is when.
Yo, Krome.
Whatever,
real
let him-
quick.
let him-
My
Oh.
buddy says it says I don't have permission to join it.
The
waiting room.
Son of a bitch. See, well, I'm glad someone said something, but okay, hold on. Yeah, give me a sec. I'm just gonna. I mean, it should just be open, so I don't know. Let me just create a new fucking channel. Boop. Boop. Did it recreate it? Did it work? We'll call it waiting room prime. Okay, no, it's still sharing. Let me delete it, and then I'm gonna create a new one, which I'll have to change the links and shit. Boop boop boo. Create channel.
Yeah, just block the waiting list or the waiting room. Just have it always open.
Yeah. And then people just can't talk in it.
Yeah.
Basically. Voice, create. Oh, wait, no, I do have multiples. Fuck. Shit. What are you doing up there? Get down there. Can I? There we go. Okay.
Oh, by the way, I posted in my chat, and that's bad. Fuck you, bed.
Why is it saying it's still private?
Yeah,
or it
it's
has like a
showing the
lock.
little lock
It has a little
thing.
lock on it, and I don't know why. Heads up!
Yep.
Everyone does not have permission to view or connect to channels in this server. Okay, so I have to mess with the role of everyone. Well, at least I know now, but that might be why we never got any callers. But no one ever said anything. Would be under server settings, roles.
I'm just going to turn on role. I'm going to everyone, and I'm turning on. They can view channels.
View channels.
Create expressions. Manage view audit. Manage server.
Oh, what? Yep.
They can send messages.
Okay, they can speak. They can connect. I don't view channels, and we got connect and speak.
All right, I'll ask him to try. Or hold on. What's the new link?
Oh, use voice save. Yeah, give me 1 second. Yeah, I'm gonna have to like deal with shit. All right, new link, baby. Okay, now it should be good.
You agree with us? Just pretend you don't.
All right, give me 1 second.
Thanks for outing me, Squid. That's funny.
All right, link. Boop. Allegedly a never-ending link. Let's see. Invite as server guest. So basically, if I invite, what?
Let them join. Your link should just let them join automatically.
Yeah. So, but if I set it up as invite as server guest, then like callers will basically just be kicked out of the server once they close Discord.
Oh, lame.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, it wouldn't be a bad thing if the caller is a piece of shit. The callers are meant to be temporary. We're going to be sending them to the waiting room.
Okay.
All right.
So let me know when you've got the link, and then I can send it to my buddy.
All right, I'll send you the link first, and then I'll update it on Twitch. Twitch. Edit panels. Try this link now. Submit. We're figuring it out. It's our second one. Oh, who is Bedwetter? Have you played Marvel Rivals per chance? Thanks for... Oh. I have played it. Yes. Not a lot, but I have. I've done fairly well in it, I would say. Anyway, and then let me go pull up the YouTube chat, and I'll link it in there because apparently I can't change the description on a YouTube stream in the middle of it. If I can, I don't know how. Okay, so it should be good now, hopefully.
All right.
Damn,
I'll wait for my buddy.
Yep. While waiting, we will
yeah, just keep going.
The video. Yep.
Is that really the message we should be telling anybody? Also, this way of understanding transidentity.
So
wait, sorry, rewind.
Yeah.
Is that really the way? I don't even know what he just said.
Yeah. Let's see.
Sex with which you were born. Now, there are still some issues for this definition. The first is that even amongst trans activists, it seems quite controversial. Many trans activists will dismiss this way of thinking about trans identity as being basically trans medicalism. Apart from this, by saying that people's attitudes towards their bodies basically defines who they are, you are functionally validating some harmful ideas people can have about themselves. Should we really tell people that if they hate their bodies, then that hatred of their bodies should be a significant part of defining them? Is that...
Well, I mean, if them... It's so stupid. It's like they hate their bodies. Should we be promoting the fact that they hate their bodies? No, we're not. We're not promoting that they should hate their bodies. We're promoting understanding of why they feel uncomfortable in their bodies, and they might hate.
Not hatred.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, sometimes they'll. I mean, we could say they also hate their bodies.
Yeah, that's fine. It's
That's
fine. The
yeah.
question is, are we promoting it? Which
Yeah.
is kind of like irrelevant. The question
Yeah.
is only like what reduces the unhappiness.
Yep,
And
and
it's very clear that what reduces the unhappiness is you just
Yeah.
call them by their preferred pronouns. That's
Yep,
it.
that is
That's the whole
very
argument.
much.
Even
Yeah.
if you're like an egoist like me, it
Yeah.
just like doesn't make it just make sense. It's like this
Yeah.
person. Why would I? There is no rational reason to like make people less happy. It just doesn't
Yeah.
make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Unlike in any like moral world, I don't think it makes a lot of sense for no reason, especially because you have to interact with people. So just like, don't be rude. It's like pretty simple rules.
Yeah. It's not that
really
hard.
The message we should be telling
Yeah.
anybody. Also, this way
The
of
answer,
understanding
so
trans
yes,
identity.
we should
seems-
be letting people live like that. His rhetorical question is an actual answer. The answer is yes.
Yes.
Fuck you.
Yes, fuck you.
To ignore the fact that especially many women might feel intense discomfort with the reality of their female bodies, while nonetheless still recognizing themselves as women. Lots of women have
Relevant.
issues of self-hatred regarding their own bodies, and to suggest that this interfaces with whether or not they are actually women seems ridiculous. And this leads to the biggest issue with this definition,
The
which
disconnect
is that,
there.
I'm sorry, but that's not what women actually are. Yes, this definition is at least saying something coherent, and it
So he's claiming to know exactly what women are. Wild.
Well,
No.
I assume he's gonna give us a definition, because then
Yeah.
this assumption would make sense.
I mean, it's probably going to be adult human female or something.
doesn't rely on
Which is
sexist
the common-
stereotypes.
Right, where
but
females
those
is
are
woman.
only two.
Huh?
But
for
female
him,
just means woman.
in his definition. If that was the definition, then yes.
Yeah.
But that
and it's like
yeah.
because that's the problem when you define woman. You're literally
Yeah.
just like
Swap the word.
the definition of woman will probably have the word or concept. Because that's the other thing that like they're sneaky little shit for brains. They think that like because they didn't say the word woman or female, they have a good definition, even though it's
Yeah.
like the concept of that exact thing can still exist within the definition and still make it like circular. But they're just gonna be like, whatever, bro. Fuck you. Like they're just gonna pretend not. Like if you're like someone with XX chromosomes, and you're like, I see, it's a woman.
So it's
you
like,
still
well,
have it. You still have the like whatever.
Yeah.
Two hurdles. The other, very significant hurdle, is does this definition actually describe any sort of reality? And the obvious answer to that question would seem to be no. Of course not. Of course,
Alright, I mean, pause
women
again.
aren't defined.
Yeah.
Like he's asking if it describes a reality. When he gave us a thing that is real, which are feelings. So already, it's like yes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like people do not like having been born biologically male or female.
It's
That's like true.
It also
you
just
can say it's like sorry, go.
Okay. It also just really annoys me that people don't consider the mind. They consider the mind to be some like esoteric thing that we don't truly understand, or like a soul or consciousness. Like, no, I'm feeling this shit. That shit's real. It doesn't matter if it's real or not to you. It's real to me.
Yeah, well, no, it does. Like the again, you don't even consent. You don't even say it doesn't matter if it's not real to you.
Sure.
It's like that's just a rejection.
No, I know.
of,
I know.
You're saying you are rejecting reality.
Yeah.
Like that's what they're doing. Because again, you can't just be like emotions. You can't just say no to what someone's feeling.
Yeah.
That's not.
Yeah.
That's not how emotions work.
Exactly.
As women by how happy they are with their bodies. And while my main argument for this is just basic intuition, it's worth noting that we don't have this attitude regarding basically any other identity. Black people are black people. We understand them as black people due to their immediate ancestry from sub-Saharan Africa.
Pause.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take.
No, go for it.
I
Go for it.
accept this critique. I accept it. Transracial people are valid. No, I'm not even memeing. I'm not memeing.
No, go.
This is an actual opinion I hold. I think you have to
Okay.
accept transracial people. It's not a joke. I
Really?
thought about it. I thought it through.
Did you? Did you?
Yes, I did. I was listening to a conservative podcast. They made this exact point, and their point is basically like all of the qualities of race apply, or all the qualities of gender also apply to race, insofar as it's like socially constructed and
That is
changes
true.
definition based on the time. Like blackness is different now than it was like 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's funny you say. I mean, it's kind of like it's like for example, someone comes from Africa and they're a white person. They're like, you're not African. It's like, no, I'm African. I just happen to be white.
Exactly. See, already,
Yeah.
bro. I'm already red pilling you on
Yeah, I was
this.
just-
I'm already getting you
Oh my
fucking
God.
down the
Oh my
pro
God.
transracial pipeline.
And let's be honest. Look at what Michael Jackson did.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a genetic condition, but whatever.
No, I mean my meme was I always wanted a buddy cop film with Michael Jackson and Rachel Dolezal. I thought that would have been awesome.
I don't even know who Rachel is.
She was the lady who pretended to be. She was the white lady who just tanned her skin. Was like, I'm black now. Okay, whatever.
Oh shit, her. Yeah. Okay.
Uncertainty
The meme went over your
features
head. It's fine. I'll go kill myself.
reflects this ancestry. Being black describes this reality. It does not describe the reality of being a white person who has negative feelings about being white. Likewise, women are biological females.
So I'm not going to bring up trans.
We don't need to have the argument.
We don't. Yeah, we don't need to have that.
We don't need to.
Females.
You can let me sit in my opinion.
That's true.
Biological males who
well, I'm saying like, if like someone brings it up.
Yeah, no, we don't need to argue about it.
Yeah.
I can argue about that in my free time if they really want to.
Yeah,
my proposition is extremely simple. Is if you accept trans stuff, you have to accept transracial stuff. That's it. Super simple.
Oh my god.
But
well, yeah, because
transitive
race is a social construct.
Yeah, exactly. And gender is a social construct. Things that are socially constructed are malleable.
Malleable,
and we can like transition between them.
Oh no! I can't believe I've been somewhat convinced. You're
know,
moving me
you're
down
like,
the
"Fuck,
transracial
bro."
pipeline.
Yeah, you're like, this is actually a pretty good point. Shit.
Oh fuck! I was gonna do something. I forgot what it was. Oh well. Shit. Fuck. Oh well. Whatever. We're moving on.
Sad about being biologically male. Well, let's look at some of the most common arguments given in defense of trans identity. The first argument that might be given is
how accurate do you think that? Like, how much of a steel man do you think he's gonna provide here?
I don't think he's gonna provide any steel man. I mean, he's already rejected the concept that like you should refer to them by their pronouns because like not doing so makes them unhappy. So and that's like for me at least, that is like the reason to do it.
At the very, I think that's at least that's the least you can do, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's like the bare minimum.
It's so easy.
It's just like morally, it just makes them like. What does it cost me? Like zero. I
Yeah,
had the initial upfront cost was like mild discomfort at referring to someone who I like knew was trans as by their pronouns, and my brain like switching. But that was it. That was like the only. Now that cost is gone, and so what have I benefited from? Like in my case, a lot of cool interactions with trans people, and then like just generally like increased friendship, like ease of conversation.
Increased friendship stats.
Literally, I mean, as soon as you start thinking about like what maximizes making friends, like, because making friends is extremely important in life, it's like suddenly there is no reason to like be mean. It just goes away. You're like, why would I be mean? I just want to like being friends is good. Like I don't need to be friends with everybody. I'm not here to be like a people pleaser, but
yeah. I know. I gotcha. Yeah, it costs nothing to be nice.
Yeah, exactly. It's literally zero.
I'm a big proponent of like common courtesy and shit. And,
exactly. The egoist argument to be a nice fella.
It's true. That's the best kind of argument you can have.
Yeah, it's in your interest to be nice, guys.
Is what I'd call the accuracy defense, basically arguing that the reason we should.
Oh, by the way, in his description for this video, not a single source for anything.
Yeah, I mean, he's just going on vibes, like, obviously.
Include biological males under the category of woman is because it allows us to be more accurate. Usually, this argument involves positing the existence of a biological male who identifies as a woman and presents in a very typically feminine way. The argument for trans identity is that most people, if they're being honest with themselves, would regard such a biological male as actually being a woman.
What?
All right, what he said that there's basically the argument is just like this person is a man, but they look just like a lady. That's the argument, and so the accuracy defense is like we should just call them a woman because you would regard them as a woman. That's it.
Sometimes this is framed in terms of it being more socially expedient to refer to such a person as a woman when trying to identify them based on.
I mean, it would literally.
It's beneficial.
Believe on some level that a biological
I mean, the obvious problem with this
a
though is that like there's trans people who do not pass. And then that would be
well, I mean, and then ideally the trans individual will like politely say it's like, hey, would you mind referring to me as such and such, and then you move on with your day.
So my question would be like, who is making this argument though? I don't feel like anyone would, because you just need to have the caveat that there are like some trans people who would like not look. Like not to be an asshole. No matter how hard they try, they're probably like not gonna look like.
There might still be some. There might be some features,
Yeah.
but you know, obviously
There's some
there are
women that look like men.
that are very masculine. Yep, 100%. So,
yeah, that's
but
true.
yeah, but anyway, I was actually talking with someone in one of the servers, and they're in the military, and they are trans, but they are not doing anything about it because one, they don't want to be kicked out of the military, especially now.
That'd be a bummer.
Yeah, that would suck. And they were also saying if they did go through the process, it might make her. She's trying to be an air traffic controller, which I'm like, hell yeah, that's sick. Yeah, I was like, you know, I was like, thank you for your service.
Yeah,
dude, seriously.
Yeah, and like it does distress her, but it does obviously does distress her. Yeah, like I think she even still goes by like he him, for convenience sake. So you know, obviously different trans people are gonna have different ways of viewing everything. So yeah. So hopefully she's able to go through with it someday. But anyway,
that'd be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I wish her luck, especially becoming an air traffic controller.
Yeah, because that'd be sick.
Yeah.
Woman, then of course we can't define women as biological females. Biological males looking so convincingly like women is going to be exceptionally rare, so this argument certainly has limited applicability, but let's grant that sometimes the premise of this argument is valid, that based on immediate looks people might recognize a trans-identified male to be a woman. While the bigger issue with this argument is that there is more to reality than an immediate look.
But does it matter? I guess?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It might be easier to identify a male presenting in a feminine way as a woman, and it might be easier to identify the Earth as flat when you're just looking around at eye level. But that doesn't mean the world actually is flat.
So
when you look at
stupid.
reality more deeply, you discover truths that you wouldn't have noticed at first glance. If a biological male looks convincingly like a woman, then so what? That doesn't override the reality that this person is still biologically male and was still socialized as such. It doesn't discount all the innumerable reasons previously laid out why recognizing the
This is the problem when you like ground any thesis in like a non-moral, like you don't have a moral framework. He's saying all these things, which like on the face of them are true. Like it might be easier generally to be like assume this is a flat surface when in reality you're on the Earth, so it's definitionally not a flat surface, right?
Yeah.
And so like you're still wrong to say it's a flat surface. But the question with regards to trans stuff is like, what is the most useful to like society? Like, is it more useful to refer to this person who will do everything a woman does and looks just like a woman, etc. Right? Like what's like better for us as a society to be like just insist be like your penis inspection, where are you?
Yeah, it's like
or is it
good old
easier?
PI?
The old PI. Or is it better as society for us to just be like that is a woman?
There's
it's like literally easier for everybody.
There's a kid in one of the servers who was he was talking about the whole bathroom thing, and he literally went to the point. He was like, we should have someone ID people before they enter the bathroom. And it was like, and they would only. It's like, oh, they would only stop the people that they're unsure of. It's like, no, if you do that, it's like, you would have to do it to every single fucking person.
How do we stop trans people from molesting children? We sexually harass everyone. That's what we do. Literally everyone who uses a bathroom. Bro, this guy's got a big brain.
Yeah.
The difference between men and women actually matters. The social utility of calling such a person a woman must be weighed against the analytic utility of a less surface-level definition. Again, test this reasoning with the most obvious analogy. If I looked convincingly like a black person, does the fact that I might be identified at first glance to be a black person discount the reality that I am actually white? A good definition should account for the entirety of reality. Saying that a biological male...
It does, and it can. Yeah. Oh my god, this is so crazy. You can account for the entirety of reality. This is whack.
Yeah.
Well, as you know, we won't bring up sports, but, you know...
Yeah.
Trans sports, you can have nuance in that one.
Equip every bathroom with X-ray PP detector.
Exactly. The most obvious one is...
My cock senses are tingling.
Oh, heck yeah.
the most obvious ones in like a medical setting where like it doesn't matter if you're trans, you still have to tell them like I was born a man because this is medically important.
And
so it's, I mean, bro, we fixed this, bro. We fixed him. He's not going to be transphobic anymore. We fixed it. We gave him a definition.
We need to just try and invite this guy to the stream. It's
I know. Hey, I just gave him the definition that fits. This is amazing.
Yeah, I know. It'd be so easy.
We're gonna fucking convince a transphobe.
Yeah, that's true. I was actually talking with THC earlier. I was like, it's comforting to know that even though I only just like recently delved into, like I've supported trans people for a very long time, obviously, but like I've only really gotten to the meat of it and like being a proponent of it recently, learning more about it, and I was like, in that little grandfather in that small amount of time it's taken me to like really understand it, like this guy has a whole 41-minute video. This guy had to come up with so much shit to say in this video, and it's like it's so easy to just trash.
You guys should watch What If Alt History and his schizo posting.
Oh shit.
He did the incel uprising video.
Oh my god, that's a thing.
It was horrible. It was an awful video, and he has no sources. It was terrible.
Oh, okay. I thought it was gonna be like funny.
No, I mean it is, but it's also horrible. It's just
is it like it's funny because it's so awful?
Yeah, because he's just vibes. He has no sites. He has no citations.
Oh, so he's like being serious. What?
Yeah, he's being mega serious that like men are gonna revolt because they're not fucking. I don't know.
So fucking stupid.
Well, to who?
Also, hello Trish. Thank you for coming to watch the stream. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I don't know who grandfather is, but if it's
me,
anyone...
I'm grandfather.
Are you sure
there's a
about
guy
that?
who started streaming because of me, and so he was his dad. Then up the chain. You don't know the squid lore.
No, I do not. No, I do not know that lore.
No, there's 6 years of lore.
That's fair. That's
they
fair.
Look like a woman on the surface doesn't account for the entirety of reality. Do you know what would? Simply identifying such.
You know, he has the little thing right there that just says social utility isn't all that matters. You know, in a social society, maybe that is all that fucking matters.
Or at least like
you're not
like large.
You're not.
Here's the other thing he might argue matters is like individualism, and then it's like, all right, well, let these individuals identify as their own thing.
Yeah, it's so stupid. The squid lore goes unnecessarily deep, and I am the result. Where you, Squid, did you have what was it, divine conception or something?
Yeah, I did.
Or did you solely prove God's existence?
I have given birth to many full like 15, like teenagers and full grown adults.
My condolences.
Yeah, I am Jesus.
You get a lot of grandfather gift cards, do you?
I wish.
Like birthday cards and stuff?
My grandkids are broke fucks. They don't help me with anything.
So that's why your channel needs more people.
Exactly.
All right.
Proud mother of 15.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Too much for me. Put them all up for adoption or legalize very late term abortion.
Oh.
I like that. Oh.
Yeah. That should be a debate topic.
Very late term abortion. It's not murder. It's just late abortion. Anyway.
Such a person as a man who looks like a woman. That explains both the reality that this person is in fact a man and the reality that they might look like a woman. All of reality is being described here. So actually this example shows how the gender critical definition...
This really is just an entire 40-minute video on why he should be an asshole.
Yeah, or like it just doesn't even make sense because he's also appealing to intuition, but he's given us a
abortion had input lag
situation that's like highly unintuitive. Like how is it intuitive to look at someone who is in every way a woman unless penis inspection happens?
Yeah.
But not refer to them as a woman. Like that is a non-intuitive answer to a question to this question. So like you can't appeal to intuition when like the vibe.
Yeah. The abortion had input lag. That's what cancer is.
works way better. We can also see this by the fact that sometimes biological males who look like women might not identify as women. There are cross-dressers and even males who've undergone medical intervention to look more feminine, but also nonetheless don't identify as women. If you're looking at the screen now, you'll see I've included a picture of a famous streamer who, at the time when I first started working on this video, identified as a man despite presenting in a very feminine way. Now, since then, this streamer does identify as a woman, so this example is out of date, but the point is that for an extended period of time, it would have been contrary to self-identity to identify this individual as a woman, despite initial appearances. Now, honestly, there is actually...
I mean, men can look very feminine. Like, what are you talking about? It doesn't... Men can wear makeup. Men can look feminine. Like, this is not a solid argument.
And Finster's hot, bro. Refer to Finster by whatever they want. I don't even know.
Oh,
Finster.
yeah. That's right.
Just hot.
Have you seen the stream where they meet another streamer who's dressing up as a woman?
No, I
was it Vlad?
It's so fun. I don't know who it was, but they both started laughing because they both could recognize.
Oh wait, was it the one where like it was like they met each other on like Omegle or something like Omegle?
Yes.
So I believe that was scripted because they already knew each other, but it was so good. It was so good. Men can do women things too, 100%. Like I've actually wanted to try on maybe doing some makeup, and I might have a friend help me out with that, so that'll be fun.
That'd be cool.
Actually a part of me that sees somebody wearing makeup and presenting in a feminine way and automatically does think such a person must be a woman.
You can make you can use makeup to make yourself look more masculine too. Fun fact.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
draw some abs on me, bro.
Yeah.
But I would argue, rather than viewing this instinct as indicative,
we have like a problem where he's like, nobody. Like, I know that you don't know what a woman is, which is wrong.
Yeah.
But then also, he's saying, like, women apply makeup, but men don't. And, like, just applying makeup doesn't make you a woman. There's something weird where he, like, clearly has definitions about what is at least womanly.
Yeah. Feminine or,
is a quality of womanhood, right? So, in a certain way, he understands what a woman is. So, like, his own... The way he's talking about it indicates he's like pretty confident he knows like about being a woman. Like I don't know, it seems like he's able to understand somewhat what being a woman is like. Like what I don't.
Trish Mop, I wear bows in my hair on a semi-regular basis. Since I'm a dude with long hair, and I personally fuck with bows a lot, I'm still a dude. You're clearly only talking about, like, hunting bows because you're a guy, obviously. There's no way you could even
or
conceive
bow tie.
of a... Oh, yep, it's a bow tie. There's definitely no bow in your hair. It's a bow tie in your hair.
I wear bow ties in my hair because that's manly.
This is man. Shit.
Of some deeper reality that the categories of man and woman are defined by makeup, this is rather an objectionable instinct I should resist. Because of course, describing reality isn't the only point of definitions.
He's just thinking way too hard about it.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, he just,
At some point.
like, I think he's just coming from the angle of, like, he just does, like, again, I don't think if you have, I literally don't think there's, like, a single, coherent, like, to be fair, I haven't read traditionalist literature, so maybe the traditionalists do have a coherent philosophy, but I don't think there's a single, like, coherent philosophy where you don't refer to trans people as trans, or by their pronouns, just because, like, it's just because it's, like, easier for everyone involved to just do that.
Yeah, it's just way better.
For all parties involved, it's easier.
Oh, Trish Mob, who cares? Whatever technical term. They're purple and I must slay. You know, we were talking about purple earlier, actually.
Oh, yeah,
the
true.
color purple, yeah.
We should also consider, are certain definitions morally offensive? In my view, saying that somebody is a woman just because they trigger a regressive part of my brain that associates women with stereotypes of femininity would be highly offensive. However, trans activists would argue that actually, if morality should be a consideration in definitions at all, then this works in their favor. The basic argument goes
Correct.
something like
True,
this.
that's what I'm saying. Oh my
Language
God.
is a social construct. Social constructs exist to maximize human happiness. Affirming trans identity does maximize...
I mean, social constructs for efficiency. Right? I mean, like,
Yeah,
ideally happiness, I guess, but...
The problem is he's saying language is for happiness, and this is where he's going to draw out his thing that, like,
yeah.
weird for happiness, which is true. Like, some language needs to have a truth value, but one, you can define women to include trans people while maintaining all the truth values, which is somewhat me conceding that the definition shouldn't be circular, but I would still say that the definition should be circular and maintain it.
Well, he's saying this is the argument that trans people use.
Yeah,
you're okay. Into the future. Yeah. Just like with the pinstripes. His
problem is going to be the socially constructed stuff's for happiness, because he's going to say language is not for happiness. It's for conveying truth.
Yeah, or something like that.
The way you would undo that is you would just say, we can construct definition of woman to encompass trans people in a way that is still truthful. And like, whatever, I basically was like, I don't care if the definition's like circular, it doesn't really matter to me, because definitions like generally have circular elements to it.
Yeah, it can eventually boil it back to itself.
Yeah, exactly. So I would say language is constructed for truth, but then there's also like, how do you use language? Like, you should use it in such a way that like maximizes happiness. Whatever, but let him keep talking. I could be wrong.
We'll see.
Human happiness, so therefore we should.
You're probably right.
Trans identity. This argument seems to rely on the assumption.
So I like the only thing I would actually.
Not socially constructed? Well, that's stupid. Whatever.
Yeah, or something like that. I would say I would call, instead of the morality defense, I would just call it the efficiency. Language is socially constructed. Social constructs are for efficiency. Affirming trans ID maximizes efficiency, and our language should, in conclusion, affirm trans identity. But then he's gonna say, "Oh, well, it makes me unhappy," probably, or something like that.
The only point of language is to make people happy, which I'm not convinced of at all.
Yeah, he denies that it's for happiness. I don't know any trans person that. Well, I don't know many trans people that actually argue about it, but.
What he's got to say.
What?
Let me hear what he's got to say. He's trying to use formal logic.
Yeah, will often try to argue that there is no truth to language, and therefore the only purpose of language is just to make people happy. But of course, I've already shown that language has the purpose of describing reality, and this means we can make truth claims about the usage.
So I didn't even watch the earlier part, and I knew what he was going to say. My brain is so big. Oh my god.
Yep, he's huge on descriptive definitions
of language.
Oh, I can see the fucking Matrix out here.
It's just so predictable.
Yeah, well, the problem is he doesn't understand. Like, even this man has not read Aristotle's categories and topics clearly. Okay, like you can one of the things you can do is like create new categories. So even let's say, hypothetically, which we kind of technically do already have a separate category for, like, we have woman. This is a category.
Yeah.
Okay. And or this is a topic, and then or whatever, however the fuck Aristotle separates those things out, I forget. And we separate this out into two separate categories of cis woman and trans woman, which we do already do. This is already a thing that happens. Like, but we just refer to them as like this overarching thing of woman. Yeah. So think of this in the same way.
Woman's an umbrella term.
Dogs, which is fucked up to say, but whatever. Like there are dogs, and if you refer to any dog as a dog, that's still fine.
Yeah.
But technically speaking, right, there's like Rottweilers and there's German Shepherds or whatever, and you can infinitely maximize this thing out.
Yeah.
Forever.
And then there's trans women and cis women, and
there's trans women and cis women under the overarching woman.
Yep.
And now we have solved this problem, and I have created. And then the other thing is this still, because this still identifies the truth value that, like, in medical settings, the fact that you're trans, like, is important and other shit like that. So this is like an irrelevant. We can create, even if we accept that there's like not as much social construction as people say there is with language, which is like, I don't know. Basically, I just don't like people just fucking with language all the time. That's like kind of annoying. But just to say like we can't create a new category is just incorrect. We obviously
we do it all the time. He even brought up taxonomy earlier.
Yeah, like if we have old categories, like maybe
they
don't
might have
mess with the like old categories that much. But if we can create new ones, then fuck it.
Yeah,
make
but
new ones.
though some old ones are probably going to need some change, such as
Yeah,
in taxonomy. But yeah,
you can like tweak it, but that's like constantly happening. So
yeah, exactly. All right.
And that is untrue. The funny thing is that most
Morality
actual
is not all.
trans-identified individuals seem to agree with me here. I've seen plenty of such people
I mean,
argue that they don't.
Real, I'm kind of not like he's kind of wrong. Like I mean, it's. I guess I would want to know what that means. Like, what does it mean? Morality. There is like.
Do you want me to back it up? See if he did say something about it, or.
Yeah, rewind what he said.
Affirm trans identity. This argument seems to rely on the assumption that the only point of language is to make people happy, which I'm not convinced of at all. Advocates for this argument will often try to argue that there is no truth to language, and therefore the only purpose of language is just to make people happy. But of course, I've already shown that language has the purpose of describing reality, and this means we can make truth claims.
Okay, so it's purpose. So he's ascribing a purpose to language, which is acceptable, because language does not have a purpose to. However, his definition of or the purpose behind language that he's explaining is incorrect. It is not to describe reality.
Mm-hmm.
The only purpose of language is to convey information from media. That's it. That's its purpose.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yo, boys, I gotta get off. I gotta go to bed.
Okay.
All right. Have fun getting off.
All right. Peace out, guys.
Later. Oh, Trish Mop, if you wouldn't mind, sorry, real quick. Would you mind trying to use the Discord link that is under the stream? I do want to see if our waiting room is actually working now. I'll drag you in to say hello if you'd like, but I do want to make sure it's actually working if you're still here. Anyway, so I'll keep an eye on it. See if you. Oh God, I'm a guinea pig. Yes, you are.
Trish, you fucker, get in here.
Yeah, see, Squid can tell you what to do. Squid knows you.
Exactly. But as I was saying, so one, that's I think an incorrect definition of what language's purpose is, because explain reality is like wrong. I'm trying to think of like a hypothetical of like when language.
There they are, and I should be able to just drag them right in. I said drag them right in.
You dragged the waiting room.
I did drag the rating. What is it doing? Oh, it's what? Why can't I just drag?
You probably need to change the permissions for host and company.
Apparently.
Or our like role permissions.
Yeah. So, thank you. So the waiting room's working. Other shit isn't.
Well, I'll just sit in the waiting room later, and then we'll fix it. But the waiting room now works. All we need to do now is drag people in when we.
Yeah, but if someone does want to come in and actually wants to try talking, it's kind of like.
Sure, that will.
That's kind. Yeah, that is like the point of having the stream in the first place.
That is the point. True.
Anyway. All right. So as the host permission, I have all the permissions. What? Manage. That's something else. No. Manage server, create invite, change nickname, manage nicknames, kick, prove, reject, ban, timeout. Text channel permissions.
Oh, it allows members to disconnect other members from this channel. This allows somebody in. Okay, you need to allow us to move members.
Okay, I should be. I'm allowed to move members. What the heck? Yeah, you should also be allowed to move them. Yeah, you have the same permissions I do. Mostly.
Oh, I can't drag him into the. So it's still not. He's still. I think it's just because he's not allowed in. Would be my guess.
Yeah, I figured if we were able to drag him in, then be able to.
Oh wait, you know what?
Override it.
Let him. I'm gonna change the permissions for host and company. We're just if you keep it invisible, they can't see it, right? But then we can just let them. But we still need to allow them to connect to it. Otherwise, they can't.
Yeah. Okay, so just make it invisible. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, which it is. So they can't view the channel. Let's see.
Cool.
Fuck.
Oh, yeah, it's still just trying to drag the waiting room.
It's a prank.
Let's see. Edit the channel.
Here others.
Advanced permissions. Oh, hold on. I think I might have fixed it. Nope. Hmm. Oh, okay. Hold on. I wish there was a button I could just give myself every fucking thing here. This should do it.
Nope.
Give me a sec. I think I can fix it in a sec.
Can't believe you've done this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and co-host. Seriously, is there a way I could just like... I actually have to like check mark all this shit. It's so annoying. It's like, why can't I just do the thing? Actually, wait. Sync now. Sync permissions. It didn't. I'm pissed. Okay, hold on. It didn't work. Boop 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 doo 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 doo. Just taking a little time. Do 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 do. All right, so basically, I'm giving you two like all the same permissions. Please don't betray me.
I mean, I still can't drag him.
Well, I'm still working on it. Fuck, this sucks. This is so tedious. This is probably why the sync thing is the thing, but like, it also didn't work. Save changes. Okay. It's still trying to drag the waiting room. What the hell? That's so weird. Do I have to change the permissions in our current channel? Like...
Maybe.
God damn it. Sync. Is that... Okay, yeah. Let's try this guy. That's probably part of it, yeah. I imagine that might be the permission of this channel thing. So, co-host, boop, 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 boop. I have to figure out the sync thing so this can be a lot easier. This is why I do not want to be a Discord mod. Discord Kitten, on the other hand.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Alright, see if you can move them.
Nope.
I hate everything. Or maybe I just did the host permissions? Okay, I have no idea. You know what, let me look this up. Let's fucking look this up. We need to fix this. So,
I mean, the internet's saying you should just be able to do it whenever you want.
yeah, so I don't know why it's, well, not. Experience issue where you can't drag and drop users between channels in your Discord server. Several factors can cause this, and troubleshooting can involve checking permissions, ensuring show all channels is enabled, and even restarting Discord. But you can't do it either.
Maybe if we just make this channel viewable.
Try it, yeah.
No.
Son of a bitch. Let's see. You and I can leave Discord and come back and see what happens. Maybe that'll do something.
I think we would just need to turn off the whole Discord. But yeah, we can do that.
No,
I don't think it'll change anything.
Yeah.
We can't.
Oh, hold on. Server rules. This is fucking annoying. It's fucking. You have all the permissions. Okay. Wait, what? Okay, well, you guys apparently have. Well, as owner, I just automatically have permissions, I think, but. Fuck.
I mean, always start Discord. Give me.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, trying to fix the bugs and shit. Though we might be ending the stream fairly soon because we've been streaming or I've been streaming for like 3 hours now. So wait for Squid to come back, see what happens, see if he can move the guest into this channel. I will continue looking at other shit.
Do it, so.
It still didn't work.
Nope.
Fuck. Fuck. Okay, well, there's got to be something wrong here. Hold on. Okay, you guys can.
I'm gonna join the waiting room. And you try to drag me.
Okay.
It's something with him.
Ah, it. Okay,
it's got to be because he's a guest or something.
Yeah, it does say guest.
I'm telling you it's the guest thing.
It probably is the guest thing.
That's like the only weird factor.
Yeah, that's so weird. I don't like
him.
Yeah. All right, so now I'm gonna create an even newer link.
Invite to make it so people aren't guests.
Yeah. Oh wait, nope, don't want that. Copy link. And I'm just gonna put it in the chat to make it a little easier for me. Try that link. And for those on YouTube, try that link. This time you shouldn't show up as a guest. All right. Yay, T's here, still muted.
I can't drag him out of the waiting room though, can I?
No, hold on.
No.
Trish,
All
Trish,
right, cool.
well, I don't know.
I can chuck everywhere.
Okay, I don't know if no, Trish should be unmuted when they come in here.
Unless he's just automatically, he could just mute himself.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Did you, Trish? Did you just do you have yourself muted?
Yeah, he's muted himself.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
Yeah, have
cool.
you? Okay, so we should be fine. We should be fine.
Yeah, as long as they're not guests. Yeah, it was the guest thing.
Yeah. All right, cool. I think we finally solved it. Maybe, hopefully.
Yeah, we did.
All right.
Well, you need to make the Discord invite, not a guest one, and then it'll be fine.
Yep. Yep. Cool. As I said, might be ending the stream soon because I have been doing it for like 3 hours.
Go for it.
Yeah. No longer have to be a guinea pig. Congratulations, you're now a fucking.
You're free.
You're an otter now or something. I don't know.
Chica kitty. About the usage of language. Remember, if you say that a pencil is a sandwich, then that is untrue. The funny thing is that most actual trans-identified individuals seem to agree with me here. I've seen plenty of such people argue.
I think we're more or less done with this guy at this point, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
you haven't seen as much, but
I mean, yeah. Unless you want to keep looking at it, I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like very. I just don't think he has like an actual moral system that he applies to his thought. So I think he's just like
it's just vibes.
Like it's just like a general kind of mishmash of like conservative ideas that have like come together, and that like makes you default to being anti-trans.
Do you think I should leave a message in the comments like, "Hey, check out my channel. We reacted to your video."
I mean, if you want, I think you'll just get kicked out for being
Might be.
for the
For being a
advertising.
yeah,
I mean,
well, I wouldn't link it. I would just say, "Hey, stop by." I wouldn't
by,
actually
bro.
link the channel, but
Yeah,
oh,
go
hello.
for it.
At the
Like,
end, he starts
react to the
virtue signaling and makes some turfy arguments, of course.
trans exclusionary radical feminists.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, if you want, you can just leave like a funny meme comment and be like, "Watch this on my stream was bad" or something. I don't know. You're cringe, dude. Nice try.
And then I would actually come across like a bot. All right. Well, yeah, I think we're gonna call it here. Like, I do want to keep going, but I also should go to bed.
Yeah, no, go. If you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yeah. Well, please check out Squid's Twitch. Go ahead and plug yourself.
Yeah, Deadliest Squid everywhere.
Yep, Deadliest Squid everywhere. YouTube, Twitch, you'll find them.
Mm-hmm.
And as for me, you know, it's for Twitch, it's mad_Krome. And on YouTube, it might be the same. Let me double check. No, it is at @madchrome. No underscore space. But I'm sure you could find me.
Either way.
So thank you all for stopping by. I really hope to see you guys again. It's been a fun time. Thank you for talking with us, listening in. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yep, you'll have a good one.